Dance for Super. The Dragons teach us that if we want to climb high, we must do it against the wind.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another day of Overwatch League APAC action. I'm Achilleos, and yes, I have an injury on my hand, but it's okay. Enough about that. That's Avril. We'll be guiding you through the action here today. Should be, yet again, another wacky, wild, zany day of APAC.
I'm not going to ask you which team lost, resulting in you slamming your hand on your desk. Well, you know, that's your business. You know, that's fine. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out because we have some great matches this evening, this week as well, very important ones, as we'll see a lot of impact for the standings. Right now, I can safely say that no team in the Eastern Division is mathematically out from reaching the mid-season tournament. However, that will likely change as early as even tonight, I think. Somebody will be eliminated. Two teams have already qualified in Seoul and Hangzhou, reflected here in the standings. 9 points for Seoul, Hangzhou at 8 points. They're guaranteed to be in at this stage. It's the other 5 teams vying for the final 2 positions in the mid-season Madness tournament. Shanghai at 6, Fusion at 5. You'll notice that Fusion have the same scoreline as Valiant and Hunters at 3 and 5 overall over the course of the entire season, but they have the 2 extra points from the playoffs of the kickoff clash, helping them out a lot.
I mean, it's just 2 points separating Fusion from the Valiant and the Hunter, so anybody really can kind of try to climb up into that spot. Shanghai Dragons, let's see what happens to them as well. Do they fall down the standings? Can they maintain that spot and try to just make sure that they're in that mid-season tournament? We'll have to find out later. For now, though, let's take a look at our starting five from the side of the Hangzhou Spark, who will be making battle versus the Fusion to kick things off.
Yep, standard stuff we're seeing from the Hangzhou Spark. Wouldn't expect any substitutions to come on through. Last stage, we had a decent amount of Gushui playing. This stage, it seems to be all about Burner, who I think impressed in the last showing. You know, Hangzhou Spark dispatching all the Shanghai Dragons in a 3-0 manner. Shanghai have definitely been underperforming, but Spark have also just been so hot throughout the entire regular season. Some comments and criticism would be accurate towards their performance in the actual Kickoff Clash tournament, but overall, 7-1 record. The only team they lost to was Shanghai in the Kickoff Clash as far as the regular season goes, and that was even a 2-3 result that they could have won. So Spark very clearly could have obviously maybe even been 8-0. Spark have been really pounding in the regular season.
No, they very much have. And I mean, you know, like we saw the Kickoff Clash, they had a really, really strong start. We're firmly right there battling for that first place position. But then when they got into the tournament itself, we weren't really able to find results. So we'll see what happens in the mid-season madness, but they are looking great. Shy in particular has, of course, been utterly impeccable for this squad, and Alpha Yi still looking incredibly solid. A team that has had a rough go of it thus far, after getting into their first grand final in our first tournament of the year, is the Fusion, who have not been able to find success yet. It's been a rough road.
No, they've lost to two of the teams in the bottom of the standings here. So as far as implications for the mid-season madness, Fusion is the most likely team, if there was going to be one, to drop out of the top four. Their fate is still within their own hands, though. If they start winning a couple of games now, they can easily save themselves and make it to the mid-season madness tournament. I actually firmly believe that will happen because they've still yet to play with Hangzhou Charge, who've also been a majorly struggling team. Fusion have lost to the LA Valley. That was a reverse sweep, pretty painful. They have lost to Chengdu Hunters, who look pretty damn good as well. But those two teams, despite being on the rating 3-5, lack the extra 2 points. Fusion have a very big lead as far as that goes. They just need to make sure that they start to get up some points now. Unfortunately for them, they got some tough matches coming ahead, including this one right now. Hangzhou looking absolutely dominant. Fusion maybe on a comeback journey now. We're hoping that they do come back because they look damn good in the Kickoff Clash, and it'd be a shame for them to miss out on mid-season madness now.
Yeah, it absolutely would be. Starting things off, though, as we are in a double push week, we will have Coliseum, then move into Route 66 for Escort, Aikenwolde, Lijiang, etc., depending on how long this series goes. Fusion want to try to bounce back, make this a quick, clean 3-0. We'll see if they're going to be able to do it. They're certainly going to have their work cut out for them, but we'll see if MN3 and Zest can get the job done versus Shine Out.
Back to the Rookie of the Year conversations here. Zest versus Alpha Yi, two of the most exciting rookies that we do have in the Eastern Division here in APAC. So far, you've had Philadelphia Fusion taking control. Zest right in the tournament. Minus the Soldatus. Forget about that one. Alpha Yi dominating the regular season. Despite we are currently in the regular season. Both players coming out on kind of their bread and butter picks here. Alpha Yi has played a lot of that Echo so far in this mid-season mana stage. Zest on the tried and true Genji. The hit scan players on the Sojourn as expected.
Alpha Yi on that Echo, no matter who he's going up against, is always a terrifying prospect for the enemy squad. For now, though, the poking of product will come through. Great sleep start from Fixa. Managed to find him. Zest gets on top to get that elimination. Looks like maybe the Immortality Field not in position or a little bit too late to try to save him. Either way, that gets cleared up. And Fusion kick things off with control of the bot.
Early lead here. See how the rest of this goes. No ultimates being charged up too far. Means it's a very quick fight. Notable support difference here is not double flex support being found for the Philly Fusion, where it's just going to be the bat break through the side of the Spark. So do favor the double support. Flex support rather picks for in that fight. Coliseum. Fixer looking towards it. Nano's off. So far, the highest charge member of both teams.
Flying nade going to be going down. MN3 just taking a slide away, hopping back, trying to keep himself safe. Anti goes out on Bernard, Discord as well, but he's going to be quite nicely tucked in behind that projected barrier, so keeps himself alive and in the fight, looking for a setup. For now, just going to be neutral territory for the bot. Minor lead established for the side of the Fusion with at 22.7 meters. Let's see who can find the opening kill, and there it is. MN3 with a great headshot. Grail goes through, Shy goes down. Big opening win there for the side of the Fusion. Now they can continue to advance and stack some more meters up for this bot. Nade on the flank there of Bernard, forcing him to try to run through it. The dash in from Zest finds the elimination, looks for a little bit more. Mortality field is down, but the bio goes out into Super Rich. Looks like he's going to turn his sights now over to Alpha Yi, who's trying to wreak havoc in the back line, but he's unable to do so. MN3 swaps the fly, and the bot continues to advance.
Yeah, and it's going towards the checkpoint now as well, about 20 meters away. Most of the ultimates for the Fusion coming online at exactly the right time. Seemed like a bit of a late lamp coming through from Irony. Couldn't say Burnout with the Immortality field. And then ultimates will also come out. So this is going to be a pretty large ultimate fight coming on through. Look towards the Sojins to find the opening picks regardless of the ultimate stage of either team. Nano Blade, though, could be a pretty huge difference maker as well. So just keep an eye on that one. No major Nano Blade counters on the side of Spark.
Yeah, as you say that, the accretion does hit for just a brief little moment there. Zest already finding one, though, dashes forward. It's not going to be able to find anything else, but with the zoning that's come through, Bernard is so far out in the middle of nowhere. They are managing to keep him alive for a lot longer than I would have anticipated. It looks like he will be able to survive. Oh, fight Shy! Now shutting down MN3, and that was without the overclock. He managed to find that raw, then manages to pop his ult, finds Fixa immediately thereafter. Zest goes down. Solid pickups here for the side of the Hangzhou Park to try to stop this bot from getting to the checkpoint. They will be able to do so, but they still have a significant amount of distance to make up for now.
And that's the important thing, right? They don't allow the cap to go over this, so there's no forward spawn for the side of the Fusion. Also means that now Spark on their kind of own push coming on through have a very reasonable case to try and catch up now. Going back to talk about the Sojins as well, right? They don't really care about ultimate states because you always have the opportunity to get those significantly impactful rails, even if there's ultimates. Even if there's a Transcendence on the other side, you can just kill right through it. Alfie will get Zest down. That's going to be the 4v5 now. You have to see Fusion give up a little bit more space, waiting for Zest to come back up before they can force a fight.
Yep. Irony shines, dropping off the high ground there for a brief moment as the Flux comes in from Bernard, dropping to the ground, but God's there, has the Transcendence, keeps everybody alive. It's going to be a slow up on the fight here for the moment as Alfie pokes and prods from the flank. Bot not really being able to advance too much. It still has to get 24 more meters if they want to tie. God with a great snipe. Take Shy's head clean off. Bot now going to be heavily contested by the Fusion as they start pressing forward, knowing that there's that much more DPS that they don't have to worry about. Dash in. Alfie going to be stunned. Anti knocked out of the duplicate immediately. Right there from God once more, as well as the sleep. Dash away. Zest staying alive. The bot not going to be moving forward here for the Spark.
No, that's a critical pickup by God. If that doesn't happen, I can see that Hangzhou Spark would have pushed severely further, use a rally, use a duplicate, but actually have 5 members online, including Shy, who's got to be the majority of the damage and kill pressure. Still haven't really exited from this fight just yet, though, but just see what one kill can do for you, especially when it's the attacking team and Shy has such a long respawn distance to make up for.
The window comes out, but everybody just pulls away from the Amp Matrix. Breaking line of sight, roll away, Shine, not going to get hit by that accretion, but MN3 out of nowhere! It just comes sliding through, Nano rolling, cuts him down. What a great little play. Tracks the BAP up in the air, turns to the side, hits the rail through Bernard. It's a team wipe. The bot is once more being sent over towards Spark's side of the map. The Fusion looking for some more distance.
That's what you need out of Fusion as well. Skill expression on the Sojin player, right? You have the opportunity, okay, Nano in, 400 effective HP, slide on through, get Shy down, get somebody down that's going to be impactful, force a 5v4. We've just kind of crested over the 5-minute mark now, so 50% of the time is gone, and Fusion have done a great job in defending. Shy could go down here again. No, saved by the
They get the stun out as well onto Fury, didn't get the slam down, so good focus fire there. Yet again, Shy. Great headshot, overclock rolling, breaks the barrier. Looks to layer a little bit more damage in, but knows that Fury not really going to be the primary target. He has flown too close to the sun. He was greeting, trying to get rid of Aim God, but Fury strikes him down. Fury now finding a follow-up kill as Irony will fall. Aim God using the Transcendence manages to stay alive and keep everybody alive through the fight. The bot now has advanced to the checkpoint. The forward spawn is there for the time being. They'll give him his little break, and the pushing will resume.
Critical fight win there for the Fusion. Now they can set themselves up for the true win condition. 80 meters would be really insane at this stage where, you know, as we head towards the 3-minute mark, things just get more and more difficult for the side of the Hangzhou Spark. So despite Shy opening out really nicely, there's still going to be the point capture. On the way back now, Burner holding on to ultimate. MN3 on the opposite end. MN3 has already opened up quite a decent number of fights and already this is going to have to be one that Hungry Spark have to win to get past.
Oh, well, he's trying to go into the back line, get that flank off, but Shy yet again shuts him down. It's going to be the immortality field found in the kill feed. Shy again with another rail, finding Zest. Push up into the air. Fury going to get dropped down. Manages to find that elimination. Aim God will pick up one in the fight, but that's about as good as it's going to get here for Fusion. Yeah. Now, a decent opportunity to get some distance here on the board for the side of the Spark.
I've said this in previous casts as well, but important that players like, Aim God, even in the last breaths of their life, kind of run in and try and get a trade, because any sort of trade you get is going to have some significant impact. See that Alpha E has to come back from spawn now. He has a Tracer, so he should be able to link up with the team in short order. But if anybody slower than that dies, it's critical for the Spark. So now, sitting on high ground, window up again.
Oh, Fury.
Try looking for rails. I mean, that would have been an insane rail to hit.
Trying to contest forward. Zest, in the meantime, has taken the bot away, so it's not getting progress. It's going to start doing so now for the side of the Spark once more, and Zest does get finished off. Was not able to escape. Bernard's playing up, managing to find that ever-elusive Tracer. Nice pick off with them, and that is going to be the checkpoint coming through here in just a moment. Fusion can play around the bot's break time, but they're going to have to contest this very soon. They're having a struggle to move forward towards the bridge.
Shai's just holding rail charge as well. He doesn't want to burn it on burn up. He doesn't have to. Look for somebody on the back line. Not burn it. I fear if he has to look for somebody on the back line instead. Zest just keeping the payload alive as much as possible. It's trade.
Aim got dead. Alpha E traded out, as you say. Zest dashing forward. The Nano Boost rolling here for the Tracer. The Flux comes in. The Transcendence is there. Bernard antied out. Still going to be able to survive. Not sure if he was caught up in it. The bot, in the meantime, is being shipped away.
Shine nearly on ult.
Stolen out from beneath the Spark, so is taking it away from the contest point. Fury now, however, going to fall. Left on his lonesome. Shine finds that elimination. The pulse bomb thrown in. Not going to find the elimination. Not going to find the damage. Arnie going low. Zest continuing on the chase, trying to get rid of the Zenyatta, but he cannot do so. And off screen, MN3 is now going to go down. The bot is once more advancing forward from the side of the Spark.
The fact that he even got away from the Spark is really important. This is what Fusion need to do by time. Take the bot away from actually camping, so even if Fusion lose, they have a little bit of breathing space to get those respawns in. Now they have that. Fury returns. Burnout wants to punish with this Flux.
Yeah, but he only catches Fury, and there's nobody else there to focus fire and try to get that elimination. Aim God once more, getting his hands dirty, finds Alpha E. 1 minute about to be on the clock, as you say. Rail there, not going to be connecting. Shy being kept alive by that immortality field for a little bit longer. Does have the overclock running, but he's not going to be able to find any eliminations with it this time around. Ends up going down. The Fusion are going to win out the fight. It's such a small, minute amount of distance separating the two teams, but the Fusion win out once more, and they take the bot back across the opposite side of the map.
It's stealing the payload that is everything in this matchup so far. I think it has to be Zest, because he's been the one sneakily as a Tracer going towards the payload. Sneaking it away progress-wise means that even if Hungry Spark win a fight near the spot of Fusion, they have to go back, get the bot, and re-push distance. So that, again, to reiterate, very small window of time allows Fusion to regroup, and they might win the map just because of that.
We'll have to just wait and see. The ults looking decent here for the side of the Fusion. That overclock from MN3 nearly online. The pulse bomb is there from Zest. If he can find a stick, that could be everything. He throws it out. He gets Alfie of all targets. Manages to find the opposing Tracer once more. He is out of the fight. It's going to be the immortality field cleaned up, but MN3, that's all he's going to get once more. But Aim God is still there to be the foundation. Gets another elimination. The cleanup's coming through. Bernard cannot stay alive, and Alfie, I think, is too far away. The bot will continue to advance forward. They're still looking for the touch, but they will not find it. The Fusion will be able to draw first blood here on Coliseum.
I gotta say, when you look at this Fusion squad, they're young, they don't have that experience, and some criticism there, like, well, they're not going to have that clutch factor. They're not going to be able to win in those very critical moments. But what we see here on this particular map, that one very subtle play of removing payload from Hangzhou control to force them to repush, like I said, ends up being everything, because it was well defended by Fusion. They win the initial fight to get that progress, and then they just have to defend payload long enough so that, there's no opportunity for the Hangzhou Spark to get over the amount of distance the Fusion had. It was only, I believe, a 0.3 meter difference, so it was so close. Very small margins there. It could have easily gone either way, but Fusion, they clutch on out.
Yeah, about, a 0.5 meter difference at the very end, but a shared effort from Zest, and then I believe MN3 was the other one who stole the payload away a second time, so really intelligently done, really sneaky from the side of the Philly Fusion, and that is a map win that is going to allow this squad to breathe a little bit more easy, but only a little bit, because we still have to remember the Valiant incident. Starting up a map does not necessarily mean that they're going to be able to take the series, but it's a damn good look from the team, playing cohesively. We'll see if that maintains as we get ready to go into our escort map, which is Route 66, and that's coming at you guys just on the opposite side of this break. break, so don't go anywhere. And we are back. One map out of the way. The Fusion able to take Coliseo by what looks like on paper, I think, really slim margins. The 0.5 meters obviously makes it look like it's so intense, but honestly, I feel like Fusion were just so far ahead because of those crazy Metal Gear Solid-esque plays, just kind of sneaking the bot away while nobody else noticed in the thick of the action. Fantastically done from them. Like I said, the cohesion looks excellent right now from the side of the Fusion. We'll see if it carries forward going into Route 66 or if the Hangzhou Spark will be able to stabilize, find their footing, because this is a map that's going to be rather good for sniping, and we know what Shy can do on the maps like that.
Yeah, I believe it was actually like a 0.3 difference even. But, talking about Shy here, statistically, he currently is, ranking-wise, coming into Week 9. These are per 10 stats. Second in overall hero damage on Sojourn. First in solo kills, first in overclock kills, and first in the fewest deaths as well. So in terms of making a case to be the best Sojourn player in the entire world, I believe it's basically, in the conversation, at least in my regard, my perspective, is Shy and Kai. Those are the two best Sojourn players in the world. Statistically, Shy's stats do back that up as well. So you see his impact in this particular game. We saw his impact last week as well. I believe that should continue as we move forward to Route 66, which Shy absolutely dominated on last week, if I'm not mistaken there. Velasria also coming in for the Philadelphia Fusion. Notably, we haven't seen Carpe yet, who does normally start on the first map, but with the way that MN3 has been highlighting that Sojourn, it's probably not a big surprise.
Yeah, and I mean, had a little bit of a rough go of it there on Coliseum. I mean, I think Shy really just kind of had his number every time he tried to pop the overclock. Immediately, the Immortality field was there from Irony. Immediately, Shy just tried to find him and got a rail headshot on him. So he wasn't able to find that much value with the ult itself, but still was putting in a good amount of damage there. So we'll see how they fare now moving forward, though. As for now, looks like it will be, I believe, the side of the Spark kicking things off on the defense. MN3 likely going to be looking for at least an initial shot with the Widowmaker, but then swap over and match this Sojourn.
Velasria has played a few different heroes that we've seen so far in this meta, looking likely to lock in the Doom so far. It's interesting because for a map like this, you would typically actually see the off-tank players come in to play something like a Sigma, but in this case it will be Velasria. So like I mentioned, Ball being one of the key sort of pickups for him so far this season. And Burner as well going to be playing that Ball, so both teams on the same mental wavelength. You talk about the opening shots from the Widowmaker, that's gone now. MN3 opting for the Ashe instead. I actually think the Widowmaker would be the pick here, but it's going to be the Ashe. Speaking of picks, Fixer moving over towards the Ana. Importantly, Velasria once again looking at the Hog. We've seen this last week. It was alright, I guess, and it's there specifically to counter the Ball, but I guess we'll just have to see how it goes.
For now, slow creep up around the corner, taking their time with this one. Velasria widely leading the charge. Tagged up quite a bit, going to be taking a breather. Look at the ready, not yet throwing it. Going to see if he can get a catch. Shifts up to the Mega Pack. Nade comes down, just to try to get a neat little bit of chip damage they possibly can. Hook tries to go for a bit of a predicted play there, unable to find it. And in the meantime, Shy, headshot there onto Aim God with the rail, finds the elimination. Fusion just going to be stopped up for now as they wait for that support to come back into the fight.
And let's see if they can punish anybody as well, because you'll notice for the Spark team here, they're not well built to take down a Roadhog. It's, you know, Bap Zen here, no Ana to be seen. To be fair, Bap Zen would be the default. You wouldn't want to run the Ana unless you're trying to counter something. So no real strong ways to get rid of this Hog. And Velasria walks forward and just finds Shy. So both teams looking for these picks, and this time it's Fusion's turn to find one.
Yeah, the ball out in the middle of nowhere. DPS trying to get involved, trying to get in on top of Bernard. They will be able to put a good amount of damage through onto him with that Discord Orb. Really just zoning him out. Still going to be a nice little victory for them. Cap nearly coming through as Bernard once more just getting tagged up. Hook from Velasria this time, not going to connect. There's a couple more meters left to go as the contest comes down, but it has to be in from Alpha Yi. By a little bit more time as the ante goes down onto 2. Velasria continuing just hover around that Mega Pack, keep it defended. Hook gonna go wide, doesn't find Irony, would have been a massive pick if he could have gotten it. Takes a breather to try to stay alive. Nano goes out onto Velasria, but Shy once more with a headshot. This time finds Cess. Whole Hog goes through, finds Super Rich, but Shy popping the overclock, domes him. And that's gonna be the Roadhog now out of the fight. Alpha able to find MN3. And they're looking for some additional staggers. Aim God answering back, will cut down Shy, but without their tank, the supports here just stranded inside of Big Girls. They're trying to make their way out. The sleep connects. Aim God gets another charged up headshot. Bernard falls, and the Fusion might be able to convert this. Transcendence now going to be forced. Aim God still just a couple percentage away from his own. Nearly has it available for the fight. Window going to be thrown in. Velasria returning on the Wrecking Ball himself. Alfie now going to be taken down and looks at the Fusion. Should in fact be able to turn this fight around. Shy trying to slide out of there, gets interrupted by the pile driver, and it's into the meat grinder for the rest of the Hangzhou Spark. The cleanup will come through. Bernard's just a matter of time. Ends up going down as Aim God is fragging out of control.
Yeah, he's on a tear today. Something is going on here. Aim God on both maps so far has been finding the damage, finding the opening picks, and just even backing out. It looks like Fusion lost their fight, right? Because they lose Velasria, they lose other members as well, but the two supports survive. Shy chases, misses shot in Aim God, but Aim God doesn't miss, gets Shy down, and that is what enables the Fusion to get that sort of re-engage, because Shy has to respawn from really far away. Velasria on the ball is already on his way back, and it doesn't take long for Fusion to get numbers on the point. That one kill means so much, because had Aim God died instead, that would have been a Fusion reach hit. That would have then been Spark defending with real numbers. But bygones be bygones. We're now on to B. Fusion coming up with big ultimates.
Oh, okay, Zest not able to get the stick, but doesn't matter, has the follow-up. Enough damage going through. Immortality Field gets cleared out. He manages to go right back into the fray, and right now it is a very clean push here for the side of the Fusion, something that they do need because the time bank is not massive. It was a decent hold-up there at point A for the side of the Hangzhou Spark, draining away a good amount of time, so just 240 left, but if they can just cruise through to point B, they're going to be looking rather healthy for the final garage phase.
Yeah, they still have the Bob available as well, which is important for taking this last point. I believe it will actually end up being used here. Spark will just throw bodies and force ultimates from Fusion to at least slow down their push on towards C. Oh, huge pickup of the Shiny. That's from the bump up from the Bob, I believe.
Yep, absolutely brutalized there. Alfie just managed to find Zest at the same time, but still going to be quite far away from a pulse bomb, so finding a follow-up kill is still going to prove to be a little bit difficult, especially when you're dead. Imgod finds another elimination, and yeah, the man is just absolutely crazy. Can I get an update? What is the final blow count for Imgod right now compared to the rest of the team?
5, he's leading. He's leading MN3 by 1 on 4, so he's currently got the most amount. Fusion have 15 overall, 1/3 of that is Imgod.
Well, there you have it. Impeccable performance here on the Zenyatta so far.
And
Irony, though, going to
they
have
won
the
that
trans
fight
up
without
first.
having to use the Nano as well, so they only end up using the Bob there, the Nano there for a rainy day in case the fight took a little bit longer. But when you take Shy down so quickly, I mean, both caps so far resulted from getting Shy down at the top of the fight. Your main damage dealer is gone. Can't get this overclock. Can't get the return trades on the railgun. It's struggling here. Zest receives Nano.
That he does. He's looking for Super Rich, and he will find him. He's not going to be anywhere near the throughput of healing that you need from Irony to be able to keep that Brig alive. However, on the recall, they know exactly where he's going to go. Shy's got the nade at his feet, and Zest does end up falling. That's 2 pickoffs as Bellis Rhea was taken down moments before, who's now going to swap over to match the Sigma. So I don't think he's going to be minding that death too much, but now it's 2.5 minutes remaining here for the Fusion on this push.
And Bellis Rhea going over towards Sigma now as well, as we look towards Fixer changing to the Baps, with playing full now, long-range poke damage, and that poke damage has already found an opening pick onto Zest. And by the way, you look at the in-trunk of that last fight as well, how important it is to have Shy alive. That's a difference maker, right? Shy's still up there, gets 2 frags, Bernard wanting to push in.
They've got taken down, the Immortality Field cleaned up, means that Fixer will fall, and yeah, everybody just caught up there in the stairwell, ends up dying. So 3 quick kills here for the side of the Spark, and that's 30 seconds drained away from the last time we checked in. Now under 2 minutes remaining for the Fusion.
Important ultimates coming online here. Transcendence will be important to counter up Bernard, but Shy being in position defensively, respawn advantage there, overclock ready. These are the important things to note. Has received and got in that opening pick in that last fight. No doubt be looking for that once again. So, eyes on whether that happens for Shy. Again, big ultimates coming up for Spark.
Austria just dropping down, conceding the fight on the high ground. Respecting the Discord Orb and the damage output here from the side of the Spark. Men3 trying to catch up. 28% off of the overclock for the moment. Trying to watch that right side flank in case anybody pushes around that far flank angle. You can tell that they're not that interested in doing it. Everybody, for the most part, playing either the high ground or down on the card itself. But there's the stick. Zest opening the fight up, managing to find that elimination. Now Bernard going to be taken down shortly thereafter. The trans rolling from Imgod. Pops that one just to keep them alive in the fight. So there is an opportunity for this Flux to come through from Bernard once he respawns, but doesn't have too much time and he needs to find some value from it. Rally from Super Rich now expired, the only one remaining with that green HP left on him. Cart moving forward, 38 seconds left. The move outgoing. Window not there, Fix it. He's about to have his own. Alfie eliminated the pulse bomb, not going to be in the fight, at least not yet. The slide away, M3 avoids getting picked up, but here's the overclock from Shy. Finds Fix it, takes him down. The window has been used, but there's not too many people left who can really find too much value off of it. But then again, Bellis Rhea will just send a big boulder through, finds that elimination. Running out of time, however, though, and MN3 now is going to go down. Looks like the Spark may just be able to hold this, barring a miracle. Bellis Rhea is still alive. Does hold on to the Flux. Zest around the corner, waiting to try to go for the touch. Needs to go for it now, dashes out, manages to force at the overtime, takes the recall out just in time to keep himself alive. Flux going through, finds one, Irony has the trans, as you say. Slaps it down, Bellis Rhea going to be swatted out of the air. Shy getting the elimination. The rest of the team now playing without a tank. MN3 swapping over onto the Genji of all things. Trying to find some damage, trying to find some purchase. Manages to stay alive for a little bit longer. Zest going low. Pulse bomb at the ready. If he can find a prime target, it would be massive, but he cannot get anyone at all. Irony will strike him down. Belseria swapping over onto the Doomfist, trying to get back into the fight, manages to arrive. Bernard under fire, down to about half HP. The healing, however, the output from the side of the Spark is just too damn good. MN3 leaps just above the cart for a little bit too long. OT bleeds away, so not going to be the finish here on the map. So win condition is unlocked for the side of the Hangzhou Spark.
But a long distance push regardless, 71-5-8
yes.
on the board there for the Philadelphia Fusion. Have to credit how smart their initial play on A was. I mean, it took some time to get the C push rolling right. They did have to spend ultimates on B. They did also have to change compositions to play for something that was going to be a bit more viable on that C point as well. So some slowdown was expected, especially when Shy is starting to get some frags. But yeah, you get into that second to last fight there with Zeskin the pulse bomb onto Shy. That's what gets Fusion their ball rolling to begin capping. And maybe they could have done that one if, you know, had the OT not occurred just yet, and, you know, things happened a little bit quicker, or they just were able to get more frags as Spark were respawning. But not capping, not the biggest deal here. Going back over towards A, though, what I have to really say is the way Bellisria played that Roadhog underneath Big Earls, just ducking and weaving out of that Mega Pack room, right? He'll get low, use to take a breather, use the Mega Pack, wasn't even receiving that much healing from his own team. He was just kind of solo on that payload, sneakily pushing along every time, coming in to try and fish for hooks as well, and just being a presence on the payload the entire way meant that they actually managed to push the payload nearly towards the end, fairly uncontested. By the time Spark were ready to do something, the fight happened. Fusion won that fight, and then they just capped straight away. So, really good stuff.
Let's see how they fare now on the defense. Of course, not going to be the Roadhog. Belseria just starting things off with the Wrecking Ball to match. Alfie swapping back over onto the Tracer once more. A little bit of a rough day here for the young rookie on this Tracer pick. See what he can do this time around, but Iron starts things off beautifully. MN3, he kind of dips back around the corner from the billboard. Gets his head taken off. Great opening kill. Irony goes on the hunt once more, looking for a little bit more. Gets the mark there on to Zest with it. His Cord Orbs and is exactly where he's at. Now that'll expire.
Taking high ground as well. I mean, look at this. Spark have full control of Big Earls now. The space that Fusion lose is massive. They should have 5 coming back. But, can they get in position? That's going to be the lamp from Super Rich expended and gone. The ultimate's coming online just yet. MN3. So you have an angle to work through. Spark have such great positioning.
Pile driver in from Belseria, just looking to disrupt, looking for a dive perhaps on the Irony. They're not going to be able to find one. For now, the cart's still steadily sliding along. They'll finally push the Spark away from it, albeit for, in all likelihood, a brief moment.
Zest on 1. Shy body shot Zest with that railgun and put him on 1. That was incredible. I mean, that could have been a kill.
Once more, the Immortality Field going to be forced out of the Spark. Bernard continuing to be under fire. Shy, you can see so much of the healing being pumped into him right now. They know that that is pretty much the bread and butter. The win condition that they need is keep Shy alive, let him shoot heads. Bernard. Yep, with all that healing focus going through, Bernard off of the flanks. Does end up going down. MN3 finding that elimination, but Shy gets a punish. Another rail headshot to get that elimination. He's taken low. The lamp comes down. They keep him alive. There's the stick, but they cannot clean it up. Doesn't even get the kill on that Immortality Field. In fact, not going to be finding too much of anything there. Shine out on the high ground, just looking to take down the enemy supports. Fix and Aim God both with a sliver of health remaining. Belseria tries to create some space, calls a distraction. And so far it's working a treat, but Bernard still manages to find the enemy Zenyatta. Rally now rolling from Fixa. Trying to keep the rest of the team alive so they can continue this contest and drain some more time out of this time bank. Belseria, the pile driver, not going to be finding too much. Transcendence going to be forced all the same from Irony, though.
Should be an overclock.
It uses that. The overclock is available. Now it gets popped. We'll see what Shy can get done. He's looking for a target. MN3 going to be the first one to fall. Nade goes down, push up over the top. Shy ends up getting dropped. Zest dashing in from behind. Manages to pop him. Aim God comes over 2. Irony and Alpha E now going to be dead. Bernard having to head for the hills. Joins back in with Super Rich as they try to stay alive inside of Big Earls, dashing over to the flank. Rich breaking line of sight for just a moment, but they push through. And off the back of 2 kills from Aim God, they will manage to flip this fight.
First big reset for the Hunger Spark on their attack as well. I mean, Shy just unable to get any value on the overclock. Comes in, I would say, percentage-wise, the damage was just not quite there. If he had a few seconds earlier, you could see the overclock doing a bit more. Have to credit Balestria for dropping mines on top of the window as well, slowing down the progress of the Hunger Spark, who at that stage was pretty significantly ahead in terms of full position. After he dies again, so it's going to be another reset. Time is going to be a major factor now, Achilleos, as you have to see Spark actually finish this map, or just about 71.58, right, is the meterage that they have to gain. Full ultimates coming online for the Philadelphia Fusion. Irony got Spark that initial payload push because he got the opening frag on MN3. So now they have to play 5v5. 4v5.
The pulse is there. Zest finding Shy, and Super Rich dies quickly thereafter with Belseria diving into the back. They are looking now for more, trying to find these staggers, and there's not much at all that Bernard can do other than try to escape back into the sanctity of the diner. He will be able to do so, but he's also going to have to be the one to touch either here Alpha Yi, as there's
Shy
10 seconds remaining. Shy.
Yeah, it's going to be a Bob as well, so things are going to get difficult. Transcendence online for Aim Guard. Shy, he's thought about the Widowmaker. It's going to go back over towards the Sojin instead.
I don't know how much percentage he had, but whatever it was, it's now going to be gone. Bernard dropping down, pops the shield, trying to stay in the fight. Sliver of HP, cannot stay alive. Zest hounds him down. The OT nearly bleeds out. Alpha Yi finding the touch. Transcendence now going to be popped by Aim God. A kill there on MN3, and for now the cart's starting to advance once more here for the side of the Spark, but the rest of the team needs to stay alive. Pulse going in. Alpha Yi gets Belosria. Fixa going to get dropped. Shy with the rail, managing to find yet another elimination. The cart is moving forward. Aim God around the back plate into cave. He's in a bad spot. He's trying to stay alive, and he will end up dying. Zest still ducking and diving around the cart. Pulse bomb nearly online. Can he keep this contested? For the rest of the team to join back in. MN3 obviously swapping over to the Soldier 76. Rejoins, gets himself there onto the high ground. The minefield now coming down, trying to cut off the reinforcements, trying to stop them from touching the point. Mine's getting cleared. Alpha E still playing forward. Dashes back over to the side, joins in with the rest of the squad. Spark have their 5-man unit here together. Fusion just now managing to recollect. Can they win out the fight is the question. The dive into the back, they're looking for Shy. Anti goes out on the 2 in the meantime. Shy doesn't manage to stay alive. The trance is going to be popped, but Bernard was not a part of it. He ends up getting dropped. Pile driver in, gets the massive knockups. The Helix Rockets fight Alpha Yi. Shy is going to be eliminated, and now it's just the support for the rally rolling, trying to stay alive, but there is not a hope in the world for them. Super Rich will get cleaned up, and it's a full hold in response. The Philadelphia Fusion will take this map, and they will move up 2-0 versus the Spark.
Fusion just will not fall over here. They will not buckle against the Hangzhou Spark, even in a situation where they lost both their supports as well. Irony and Super Rich were dead, right, but they come back. Philadelphia Fusion still waiting for Aim God and Fixer. Transcendence plus the rally used by the Hangzhou Spark supports. And Fusion kill everybody inside that anyway. We saw the bio come through from Aim God that landed on 2. Shy pushed towards the side, eventually healed by the Trance, and then everyone dies regardless. They don't even care about the fact that Trance and Rally were there for the Hangzhou Spark. They still got the win at the end of the day. Fusion was still successful in their defense, and really you have to go back and kind of compliment the fact that Aim God saved them again. The double kill coming on through. Hangzhou Spark failed to get a significant cap after leading on that A push for a while off the back of Irony. Irony played that initial attack so damn well, but they couldn't find the damage to get those final blows that would actually allow them to cap. That was a pivotal fight. The last one was also really interesting in the OT, and so Fusion twice saved the point, and now they'll be up 2-0.
Now here's the question, and I hate to do this to you, Fusion fans. Does Lightning strike twice in the same spot, under the same
safe
circumstances?
To go to bed yet?
It's the 2-0 lead here for the Fusion over the Spark. Can they close it out? Like I said, they are looking for a clean 3-0. The last time they played against the Spark, they had them with a 3-1. We'll see if it happens. We've got Eichenwalde coming up next. We'll see if the Fusion can get it done, because right now they are looking fired up, and the Spark are looking a bit out of sorts. We'll see if they can stabilize, put a map win on the board when we return, but don't go anywhere. And we are back. The Fusion find themselves once more with a 2-0 lead here in a series. This time, though, versus the Hangzhou Spark. It's been a very clean run as they get a full hold on their defensive side there on Route 66 after nearly being able to push to the completion of the map. Now we look forward to Eichenwalde to see if the Spark can finally answer back and extend this series beyond a 3-0, because it would be a great look, obviously, for the Fusion, but also a very rough one for the Spark, who've started things off incredibly strongly thus far in the Midseason Madness.
And now, you know, from the Fusion POV, it's like, can you really go to bed yet at 2-0? Like, you're reminded of what happened versus Valiant, right? Like, it's just a Valiant. It's 2-0. I'm going to go back to bed here. When I wake up, we'll have a 3-0, right? And that was a very rude awakening. So this time, everyone's eyes wide open, peeled open, glued to the screen. Can it actually happen here? Spark can't be looking down at them just yet either, because like you sort of said, their opening so far in the Midseason Madness in our second stage here has been so damn good. But Fusion look on fire today. They look reinvigorated. They look like they're on the comeback. A very close Colosseo into what I would have to say is a fairly one-sided Route 66.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, extremely one-sided. But I think there's no need to panic, even though we're talking about that reverse sweep against the Valiant Fusion fans. We're not saying that the Fusion are in any danger here in this series. It's just the implication, you know. So we'll see what happens, though. They have been looking really hot. Hangzhou Spark haven't been showing the usual synergy that we've kind of come to anticipate from them. And while Shy, I think, individually has been looking really strong, we haven't been getting the best of performances out of Alpha on the Tracer. We know that when it comes down to the Genji, the Echo, that's where he really can find his footing and really take over a lobby. But the Tracer has continued to be a bit of a weakness.
I think, you know, maybe the double push week impacts them somewhat as well, because when you look towards double control weeks, Alpha has a lot more capability of playing the Echo, something he's much more comfortable on. And I gotta say as well, you know, this is a little bit painful to say, but I think Shy's performance on that last map wasn't the best either. A couple of critical moments there where, you know, the overclock needed to get the value, and it just simply did not, unfortunately, for the side of the Hangzhou Spark. But it's definitely not all on the shoulders of Shy. It never should be. If that's the case, your team's got a lot of other issues to be dealing with. Despite the scoreline, despite the full hold, there were still some very close margins in there. That's the silver lining for the Spark.
Big pile driver to open there from Bellisria, disrupting a few, but Shy finding those kills that he so desperately needs to. Nice headshot there with a full charge rail. Fixa goes down. Follows up, game got now picked off, and this is exactly the kind of start that the Spark need to have.
Yeah, straight away, I mean, within the first, like, 40 seconds or so, Shy already gone 2. He's certainly, you know, took him a couple maps to get in there. I mean, he was also fragging on the first map as well, don't get me wrong, but just a little bit of extra warm-up over the course of 2 maps. Got that Kovacs going in the break. And now leading the way for a reasonably good defense stuff. Ironing onto Aim God as well. We saw this on Route 66, how damaging it is when either Zenyatta can do this. Aim God has certainly had insane moments, but we have to kind of credit that Irony did also give Spark some great moments on the attack before it vaulted.
Well, for now, Fusion just taking a breather, taking a moment to collect themselves. Bellisria up over the wall. Sliding around, looking for a target. Doesn't go for the pile driver, though. The Discord Orb comes out, and that's going to force him away.
Just flanking. Being a nuisance.
Playing. Trying to draw some attention. The rest of the team starting to advance up through the choke point now. Alfie using the recall. Once more turns the sights over here to the Bellisria. Once he used the hamsters, a bit of an ult battery, try to get that pulse on line. Bernard, in the meantime, yeah, very much under fire. Managing to stay alive, though, is LP. In the meantime, managing to find Fixa, follows up, gets a second elimination, gets a third. LP, okay, starting to pop. I think he heard what I was saying. He says, okay, let me show you some magic on the Tracer. 4 kills for him in that fight, and it's down to 1 minute and 45 left on this attack for the side of the Fusion.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Shy and Alpha Yi started to get a little bit quiet on that last map on Route 66, but on the Eichenwalde A so far, looking brilliant. And they share the lion's share of all the kills. There's been 7 so far. There's 8 frags for Hangzhou, 7 between Shy and Alpha Yi, and then Irony on 1. And now they have the ultimate slot. Look at that, nearly 5 ultimates for the Spark.
Yeah, it's not looking great.
With about 1 minute 20 left as well. So this is the push, really.
Gonna be relying on some outplays. Okay, dive into the back. Zest not going to be able to find anything there. Takes quite a bit of damage. Alpha once more getting things started. Gets Fixa. Zest, MN3 all dead. all for just 2 ultimates here. Now with a minute remaining, the Fusion have to go again. Reset once more. Aim God still in a bit of a rough spot. Gonna try to stay alive.
Oh, that's a light kill.
Clear it off. And Irony, gets the elimination. There's the stagger. Exactly what they wanted.
That's going to cost a lot more time for the Philadelphia Fusion. They could have already regrouped by now, but nope. That's really unfortunately. See, they will have more ultimates coming online, so waiting for MN3, then fix it as well. Technically speaking, the Spark are in an ult deficit of 1 because they spent 2 ultimates, but Philadelphia did actually spend 1. They could have been an ult deficit of 2 instead, but Zest did actually trade an ultimate. It's an okay position for the Spark to be in. Mine's popped by Bellisria now.
Yeah, takes a good amount of damage. Looks like he has made it out to safety. Still needs to get some nice healing here from the rest of his squad. The rally going to be rolling from Fixa, offering up some of that green HP. Flux coming down. Bernard looking for the pickup, looking for the drop down. Not going to find any eliminations. The trans not yet forced. MN3 managing to find Shy. Takes his head off. There's the overclock out of the fight here for the side of the Spark. Trans rolling to try to keep the rest of the 4 members alive. Fusion now fighting with 5 on the point. Look at the take it, but Aim God ends up going down. Irony finding that elimination, but Bellisria finds some revenge. Super Rich pinched as the charge comes in from him, but somehow he doesn't win the fight. I don't think he popped his rail. He could have killed Super Rich, but he just held onto it. Instead, Super Rich manages to answer back. A second tick nearly going to be there for the side of the Fusion, but I don't know if they can continue this fight out. Zest down low. Finds
Shy's
one.
back.
Nixa now goes out. Zest is eliminated, and that is just going to be the hold. 60% established for the side of the Fusion, but MN3 not being able to kill Super Rich was everything in that moment.
And after kind of being delivered a situation where MN3 got Shy without even using overclock, used the rail to perfection, denied Shy his own overclock by Bellisria, I noticed on 1 HP, said this during the cast, didn't die, actually survives. That's massive. If Shy is traded for Bellisria, still pretty winnable for the Hangzhou Spark because Bernard's alive as well. You're transing, you've traded DPS for a tank here. It's a reasonable situation, but Fusion, without a doubt in my mind, were ahead in that fight. And you're right, MN3, if it kills Super Rich, could have been a very different story there. Shy comes back with Alpha Yi. MN3 can still pop the overclock. Likely going to be a cap there. But, my goodness, Hangzhou Spark. And I got to point out once again, Irony killing Aim God, I mean, it just keeps on happening. So things like that, you know, stopping one of the supports from Philadelphia Fusion doing their thing. Aim God's been a pretty big factor so far on both of these maps, and he's getting fragged a decent amount by his counterpart. Hangzhou Spark essentially look at Route 66 and say, anything you can do, I can do better.
I mean, no kidding. Good God. What a turnaround here from the side of the Spark, who very much, and especially Alpha Yi, very much woke up. An incredible performance there on the Tracer after giving us some doubts on those first 2 maps. See what happens now. Fusion looking for the Fuller hold to be able to close out this series. Otherwise, it looks like the Spark very well will be extending this into what I believe is Lijiang Tower coming up next. The pop shot from Alpha Yi, not going to find anything. Instant swap over to Tracer yet again.
And I gotta say as well, Lijiang Tower looks good for the Spark because then you put Alpha Yi back into his comfort zone of playing Echo again. They've shown to be very good on control. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, but that's the makings of a map 5 situation for the Hangzhou Spark, and just by building, you know, momentum on this particular map, they could actually get there. So we didn't expect, by the way, I don't think anyone should ever expect that if Fusion do win this map, it will be a 3-0. Spark are not the type of team to get 0-3 by the Fusion.
Yeah, like I said, the last time they played against each other, it was a 3-1 for the Fusion. So we'll see what happens. Now looking for that Fuller hold. So far the skirmishing coming through, but through the archway with relative ease, given that there's no tank really to play that forward position, just having the ball, really relying on harass. It's a good opening kill there as Super Rich will go down, fix it with a whip shot, gets that elimination. Mortality Field was used to try to keep the rest of the team alive in his dying breath. For now has worked the treat as they just pull back. They've got a lot of room to work with though. They occupy the space around the arch.
And I think the ball pick here is really nice into what Spark are playing because Spark want to play this long-range poke composition, double flexible plus the Sigma, and the ball perfectly disrupts all of that, especially when we're looking towards things like the window coming through from Super Rich when he does get it. Bellisria can just so easy access backline. Here he goes again.
Yep, sets it up. MN3 gets the headshot there onto Shy, turns the corner, gets Alfie up close and personal. Projected barrier going to block the dynamite, stop any follow-up damage. As MN3 will be burning. But Aim God does end up getting dropped. A window of opportunity here.
Look at the timing, though. Look at the timing here. Aim God is still respawning. He's also a Zenith, so he's taking his time. This is the opportunity for Spark to go. They have to gain space now. This is the 5v5, 5v4 situation. Aim God's still not here that they need. Alpha E's pulse as well.
Bell straight into the back line. Discord Orb goes down to the him, but Irony now going to be traded out. That's going to give Aim God a chance to have the lead, a chance to be able to get that trance up first, but first tick has already been taken here. Surrendered over from the side of the Fusion. Now the window coming out. They're looking to zone everybody back. Shy get a good chunk of damage, but the healing is there. Super Rich sits right behind him.
They're not capping.
Thrown down. They're not capping here for the moment, but the Fusion still have to retake this position, and it can prove to be rather difficult. Kinetic Grasp going out. Bernard trying to absorb. Still taking quite a beating. The Immortality Field now being thrown in. The bomb's going to be invested. It goes charging down, and that's going to be the cleanup. Bernard and Super Rich now have both fallen. It seems like the Fusion will live to fight yet another day. It's still a minute and 20 seconds to get through, though. And Aim God, he's going to fall. Shy kills him with a nade.
Yeah, Aim God was on 1 HP there. Thought he maybe survived, but Shy comes through with a disruptor shot, and that will end his life. So back in the same 5v4 situation. Burner coming through with the ultimate. Irony, despite popping trance, somehow Super Rich and Burner still die. And I still want to criticize. They popped the window, but no one's capping you. The window overlooking the point, and they didn't get the second tech.
Okay, Big's up. Going to be the one to challenge here. Moving forward, tries to keep Zest alive. Rally, rolling, the Flux going through, gets the pickup on it. Fixa, he needs to get a little bit of healing. Looks like he will be able to stay alive, but just for a little bit longer. Alfie does find that elimination in the end. Shy dead, as you said, with the pulse bomb. The minefield finds Bernard. Alfie falling low, but Zest, he identifies his next target, knows that they have to get rid of the healers. Rich does manage to buy him. Aim God, Alfie maybe dashing into the mine, not realizing that it wasn't cleared. Ends up falling. It's 30 seconds remaining.
And to be honest with you, I think Alfie dashing the mine to reset is the important thing here, because he could have gotten staggered there, so I don't actually mind that. So looking at this next fight, the fact that Shy went down there is huge as well, because he didn't get to pop the overclock. Again, that's your main damage source. That's going to be your main kill confirmer. Final fight situation, so important for Fusion to win this. Fusion cannot allow this to go to a map 4. I think Lee Jung would actually favor the Spark, so if they can end this now, clean it up at 3-0, Fusion can just take the win and move on.
Alfie, he gets into position, he gets the touchdown to force out the overtime, but he ends up getting dropped immediately thereafter. The overclock now going to be Pop Shine, finding him in 3. Takes him down, looks for a little bit more. Gets rolled over, but the healing is going to be good. They keep him alive. They know that he is the primary target for the supports right now. Sparks need him if they want to close this out. Aim God going to get jumped on once more. The rail goes through. They find that elimination now. All of the healing is in on a Fixa. Zest going to be picked off. MN3, he's still trying to run back, but now Fixa is out of the fight. And Bellisria is the only one here to play the point. He will end up going down. The cap will come through, as MN3 cannot arrive in time, and even if he had, there would be nothing more that he could get done. The Hangzhou Spark will not be full health. It gets so damn close to it happening, to a 3-0, but they will manage to persevere. They extend this now to at least a 4-map series with Lijiang Tower on the horizon.
This is such a close game so far, man. Like, it delivers on both ends. You see a situation where Route 66 looks amazing for the Fusion. Go over to Eichenwalde, instant full hold into a very close attempt at a fuller hold from the Philadelphia Fusion. But Spark, if Shy is alive, he's allowed to pop the overclock. He's landing rails. That's when Spark win, which is why every single time you see Fusion land that initial shot that kills Shy at the beginning of fights, they have a major advantage to win there. It really is protect the president, and the president right now is Shy.
Well, at least one more map to be played out, if not two. Can we go back to push a second time? Hangzhou Spark certainly would like to. We'll see if they can make it happen. They need a win on Lijiang Tower to continue this trend, to try and get yet another reverse sweep over the Fusion. Very much devastate them here in this matchup. Fusion, though, still keeping it close, still fighting to their dying breath. We'll see if they can close it out or if it keeps going when we come back from the break. And we are back. And oh boy, what a series we have on our hands. I have a lot more on my hands as well, but we have a series somewhere in the mix of all of this craziness that's going on right here. I mean, Hangzhou Spark, they're trying it. They're trying to make it happen. They're trying to make Lightning strike twice in the same spot here, Avril. They're starting a reverse sweep. We'll see if they can pull it off. Lijiang Tower is a must-win for them if they want to do it. A must-win here for the Fusion if they don't want to go into that map 5 pressure once more.
Yeah. I mean, I think the good news for Fusion is that we do go to New Queen Street, which is another push map. So if we look into Colosseo,
sure,
is it enough? I don't even know, because Colosseo was so close, right? We've also seen, you know, Fusion's last outing on New Queen Street versus Valiant. Let's just not remind people how that one went, because a bit of trauma, I think, from that particular game. So it would be best. It would be best for Fusion just to end it here. It would have been better for them to end it on our previous map. Hangzhou Spark were not to be deterred. And now we move into Lijiang territory, which, as I've said, is, I think, a really good map to start unlocking Alpha Yi a little bit more, playing some of his more comfort picks. So we'll see what happens here, where the possibility of a map 5 is certainly on the cards. As soon as you give a little bit to the Spark here, could be that map 5 coming on through. But at the same time, like you sort of mentioned already, Fusion have already beaten Spark previously 3-1 versus the Spark. So another 3-1 scoreline wouldn't be out of the ordinary here either.
I can see Philly having a slight little lead 2-1 over Hangzhou right now in control maps. We'll see if that gets tied up or if they can make it 3-1, much like the scoreline of this match, if they can get the victory out the gates as we enter into control center. Let's see what happens. For now, it looks like it's just going to be near, actually not really near matches. Aim God's got the Zenyatta still. Irony goes for that Ana, and then we have a difference in the tanks as well.
Yeah, so Bernard coming through on Azaria instead. I mean, typically speaking, Control Center is a Brawl-type map. Although, to be fair, the only kind of Brawl-type hero on board is Azaria. You know, there's no Reaper here, there's no Lucio or anything like that. The Ana pick's going to be quite interesting there as well. So I think Ana plus Shy for the Nano Clock combo, as we're calling it now, could be very strong. Big boop off though, Aim 3 off the map.
Yep, goodbye. Looked like it took him maybe a slight little moment there to notice, but let's get sent sailing over into the depths of Lijiang. Nice opening kill here as Aim God as well going to end up getting taken down without a support, without a DPS. The Fusion have to just back off, but the Spark, they are doing nothing more than charging forward, looking for some additional staggers. So still hovering around towards the point. Well, it looks like he has made his exit safely. Will reset with the rest of the team.
Yeah, so Tracer's kind of leading the way on ult charge here as well. You know, Zest pushing up. Fixer is swapping over towards the BAP, so they want to be, you know, considering the fact that Burnout won't be diving, just alphing into back lines. Playing double flex support could be pretty decent. They'll be able to protect each other well.
Good crash from Bellis3 over the pile driver. Not going to find much value there, so it doesn't gain any additional ult charge towards that minefield. Zest just duking it out here with Alfie as they play around. Yeah, Pulse Bomb is available. Alfie not too much further behind, though. Will have his up in just a moment unless he gets picked off. It seems like he's going to be relatively safe for now. Bubble goes out, keeps Alfie safe. Recall has to be used. Zest still getting pummeled. Desperately needs some healing, which he will now receive. Goes right back into duking it out, forces the recall of Alfie. Now he's got the upper hand. We'll see if Zest can close the fight.
I mean, Burner can just throw the grab with anybody. Even a solo grab could be decent here. They lose Shy, so this is going to happen now or never.
Zest! Absolutely massive from Zesto, finds both the DPS on the side of the Sparks. The flip is going to be there. The grab now cannot be used. Bernard is trying to stay alive, trying to hold on to this energy while he waits for the DPS to rejoin. They have since respawned, and yeah, he has not fallen yet. Brand's now going to be used out. Now the grab comes in, manages to catch on to 2. They're looking to finish off Fixa, and with Shy there with the rail, they will be able to do so. A support in the DPS once more going to be gone, and Spark very quickly retake the point. Only 17% grabbed up for the Fusion.
Yeah, I mean, you have kills coming through from Zest, 2 kills even, I believe, right? But the Nano from Irony onto Burner, keeping the tank alive, popping the grab in there to return the 2 frags. And like I said, grab here is going to be huge because there's not really any good counters on the other side. No relevant support ultimates. I don't think the lamp was there either. And a big change-up now coming through from Philadelphia Fusion. They are moving heavily into Ryan comp. This is good news because Ryan does have a pretty decent counter into Zarya, and they've changed up their entire DPS and support lines to make it happen. MN3 is the only one playing his original character.
Massive change-ups. That overclock nearly there for MN3. Rally first going to be popped now by Super Rich. Overclock is there from Shy. Let's see what he can get done. MN3 just 6% away, but now Aim God going to get picked off. Shy with a huge kill. He looks for another, and he's going to find it. MN3, he gets close, but it seems like he may never get to use that ult here. in this fight. Bellisria now stuck in the corner, can't make it out. Shy will claim another. He's looking for the elimination here on to Fixa, who's staying ever elusive. The rail not enough to finish him off, but Bernard is there with his beams. Guns down Fixa, guns down Zest. The first round goes the way of the Spark.
Brilliant combo there from Burner and Irony to keep themselves up again. They're both deathless, by the way. Burner, Zarya, Irony's Anna didn't die that entire time. Philadelphia Fusion, pressure to want to go for the swap. I respect the swap. I think they should go for the swap, but it does come through in the final fight. The big problem with that kind of composition coming in late is there's no time to charge ultimates. That composition is really good once ultimates start to come online. I think the neutral is reasonable versus the Zarya as well, but it's not a neutral elsewhere. The rest of the Spark still have ultimates to play through. You still have to play up against the Shy overclock, and now you don't have the diving power from someone like Zest entering into close proximity to Shy to take him down. Shy gets to do whatever he wants, throws out the overclock, lands 2 rails, and the fight is over. Ultra Spark now on the precipice of taking us to a map. 5 Alpha E on the Tracer. He doesn't even come through on the Echo like I kind of thought he would. Zest is the one that's got to play the Echo.
Bit of a change-up, and odd not to see him there taken to the skies, but has been finding his groove on the Tracer, at least in these last 2 maps so far.
More boots.
How he fares now is Bernard! What a massive knockoff! Fixa and Aim God both out of the fight. And now the cleanup can come through. The Hangzhou Spark looking absolutely unstoppable here on Lijiang Tower.
Yeah. That's the Alpha E smile coming through as well. It's all you know he's having a good time. As it's a good time for Spark in that first fight, as the timing could not be more perfect in terms of the point unlocking. Burner gets 2 frags to clean up the rest of them. He instantly get the caps. So everything kind of moving through the motions as expected in terms of when they should be happening based on timings. As when you look towards ult charge as well, because Burner got 2 boot kills, he's on 73 and he gets quite a reasonable amount for a ball player after a first fight.
Zest looking for a way of approach. Shy gets a headshot rail on the Aim God. He's out of the fight once more. The Fusion just cannot keep these supports alive. Irony does get traded out though. It's a bit of an opportunity. If Zest can try and stay alive, he takes right back up to the skies, but Alpha E manages to find him in the end. That's going to be a 2-for-1 trade up now for the side of the Spark as they look to maintain control of the point. Bellisria crashing through, doing his damnedest, trying to find an opening here for the rest of the team, for MN3 to do something. So far, it's not really come to fruition. Alpha E continuing just to harass, keeping MN3's eyes tied on him, making sure that he's not finding an entry into the back line, so utilize that Pulse Bomb.
Shy nearly his ult.
Take a good amount of damage. Pulse goes out, but MN3 manages to claim the kill before he even throws the bomb, so now the ult effectively going to be a little bit wasted, but he still makes up for it by finding Bernard. The flip is there, 63% on the board for the side of the Spark, but quickly 2 kills in reply. Super Ritz going off the side of the map, perhaps. Not quite sure what happened there, but the trance is going to be used from Irony all the same, and it looks like they have to pull away, so that ult usage maybe can come back to bite the Spark in the rear. We'll have to see what the Fusion can do, though, and how long they can hold this point.
And that's the thing, right? Because Super Rich dies, and if Super Rich doesn't die, I think the Irony Transcendence makes a lot more sense. They're playing up against the support ultimates of the Fusion now. They're losing more members. Shy potentially resetting. Alpha E resetting there as well. They know the fight is over. And when you look towards MN3 getting, I believe he got the 2 kills that gave Fusion this initial point cap as well.
Yeah.
It happens in a period of time where neither Irony nor Super Rich actually had ultimate. Shy actually didn't even have the overclock either. Did Shy spend the overclock? Because he's just changed to Ashe now, and it's potentially given up that ultimate. I don't think he spent it.
Yeah, I think so. I think you're correct.
So he's just deleted the ultimate. It's just gone.
Yeah, because he went for the reset, so it's not like he popped it and insta-died, so yeah, I think he just surrenders that one over. Zest, bonking on the rooftop just a little bit. Sticky Bomb's not going to be finding too much value there as MN3 in the white room throws out the pulse, but it gets stuck onto the shield of Super Rich. Really great raise from him, holding that right click, denies the pulse damage away. Rally rolling for both of these Briggs, but now MN3 and Bellisria are going to be out of the fight, so Spark are looking to flip the point. 70% online here for the side of the Fusion, but it's going to be a very quick retake of the lead for the side of the Spark.
Irony goes down, but he'll be back in time as well. Zest thought about ulting there, but with too many members of his team down, not going to be a good time, so Shy might have gone for the reactionary swap over towards the Ashe over here, even getting rid of the overclock to do so, but they'll be able to get a fight win off that 44% in one fight. Decent charge for Shy. And if I was to read into this, possibly looking to do this specifically to shut down Zest, maybe they're feeling that Zest is the one that's doing a lot in terms of impact. It's both Zest and MN3, I gotta be honest. But they have point control now. They are building up more ultimates. It's only this Echo ultimate for Zest so far on board for either team. Bernard's not
Kid goes for the dupe, and it makes it work. Manages to find Shy after copying him. Now the bomb is going to be online. Sends it over to the flank towards Mega Room. Bomb charging into the back now. Line of sight can be broken, so won't be finding too much value, but it stops the supports from seeking refuge indoors. So in the end, a great usage. The Fusion retake it very cleanly.
And it will be 99-99 here for both teams. Spark as well, smartly. They're not going to throw ultimates or do anything extra in there. After realizing the fight was probably already gone, so, you know, like you said, great ultimate usage there by Zest on the copy to instantly kill Shy. Here's the final fight that we're waiting for. Can there be an instant pick? Somebody do anything interesting? Mines coming through first and foremost.
Drops it right at the entry to the point. Bernard knocked down about half HP, crashes through, manages to get that Mega Pack, and the flip is surrendered for free because of that minefield. They managed to take it. Now Shy gets Zest. The trend's going to be rolling from Irony. AimGod has one of his own to try to answer back with. MN3 pulls Bomb Stick, manages to find Super Rich, taking a support out of the fray. Alfie narrowly stays alive with a recall, but then Belzria gets on top of him. The Fusion are looking to change this around. They're looking to extend this into a third and final map. Just need a little bit more to try to get it done. Bernard falling low. The bomb now going to be there. Has to be cleared out of the point if they want to get this flip through. The minefield's going to be invested just to stop anybody else from pushing in. The bomb ends up getting blown up.
Cap.
Dynamite not going to be finding too much value. The cap is there. Shy goes down. OT starting to plummet. Bernard is trying to play the point. He goes so very low though. Ends up getting taken down. Zest returning with the Soldier 76. Picked up the kill. Now the rally's rolling from Fixa. They do lose that on Imgod. There's definitely an opportunity. As I say that, 3 quick kills come through for the side of the Fusion. 199% in response. We're not done yet. Night Market will decide if this series continues or if the Fusion walk away victorious.
Heart palpitations there for sure. I mean, both sides are getting frags, but it's actually the Philadelphia Fusion who opens up with a 5 versus 4, I believe. Mines coming through, like I said, to get the point control. Yeah, I mean, Zest has just been insane so far over the course of this entire map, keeping things alive. The Echo is so important. This is why I felt like Alpha Yi was going to play the Echo as well, because we know the Echo pick on Lee Jung is so powerful, but Alpha Yi doesn't do it. Shy, okay, he does build up a Bob. The Bob does delay the point further, but I never got the same sense of threat from his Ashe as I have from his Sojin. So he's going to go back to the Sojin now. I still think that was a weird swap. Even giving up a full overclock, such a weird thing to do for the Hangzhou Spark. We're going to be looking towards Zarya versus a swap. Look at that. Battle Street over back to Swan. Should be the Ryan coming on through, and the rest of the swaps coming through as well to match the Ryan. And even MN3 going over towards the casting. So good scouting. They don't want to be baited into the same situation they were on Control Center. If Verna wants to play Zarya, then we want to play the Ryan. Okay.
They do get greeted by that anti-nade, though. 2 members getting slowed up. Fixa taken down. Alfie capitalizes on that, finds him as they try to round the corner and start contesting the point. They're still going to be taking the fight all the same, though. Maywall going up. Shy going to get eliminated. They clear out the immortality field away from AimGod, who is trying to get back over towards the pack, but they don't allow him to do so. Cleanup now coming through, and Spark looking to grab his first control with Belzria getting dropped. They will be able to do so.
That's the problem with this fight, right? Because if you are the Philadelphia Fusion, you've got the right comp to counter, but you need to win the neutral and then snowball the ultimates from the neutral. They lost Fixer straight away to a Bionaire from Irony, and then Alpha Yi swoops in for the kill, while Fixer can't be, healed up at all. Alpha Yi then proceeds to get AimGod as well. When both supports are dead, you've got no chance on a full composition to win it all, even if you got Shy down. So Alpha Yi with a brilliant 2 pickups on both supports.
All right, well, quick fight in reply here from the side of the Fusion. They want to get this flip back and under their control. Anti on the 2, the stick is there, looks for the elimination. Immortality field comes out. Didn't even really need to try and survive. He'll get cleaned up. Belzria is still under fire, needs TLC right now from his supports, but looks like while he is receiving it, MN3 not going to be getting the same treatment. Shy manages to find that elimination. AimGod, he pops the window, but Shy pops the rail, takes him down. Belzria now falling. Zest can only get Alpha Yi with 1 little right-click kill. The fight will be victorious here for the side of the Spark. They have ults coming online to maintain this hold. It's just the Blizzard, the closest thing right now for the Fusion.
It's just 2 fights in a row, right? This is the snowball factor from losing the first fight for a team like the Philadelphia Fusion on a slower composition, harder to build up as well. Like you said, we're looking over towards the Blizzard. The window was heavily counted. Here comes the Blizzard now. Doesn't catch anybody though.
Comes out. Fix it again, going to be anti to the other Blizzard, not going to be able to get the freeze onto anybody. The grab going to be used, looks for the catch. And Fixa and MN3 now Zest as well, going to get dropped, and the Spark are just dispatching them with ease at every twist and turn. Imgod tries to go for the reset, but it's just 20% left to go as the team kill comes through.
And somebody's going to touch here as well. Here's the other problem. Fix is going to have to go in, right? He's the fastest member. Shy doesn't even use the overclock, so just the bare nano there coming through to assist. And this time around, Shy's not giving that ult for free. No way, sir. He's going to use it for sure after he is well into the back line. So here we go. Touch first and foremost in the 5 seconds.
Okay, 98%. The contest is there. The overtime comes through. Immortality Field's going to be used. Shy looking for a target. Sends out that shot with the overclock. Doesn't get the elimination, but the follow-up one is going to be great. It's looking like 100% to 0 to take us into a map 5. As Aim God is the last man standing, and he cannot do a damn thing. They will clean it up. The Hangzhou Spark will not go down, and the Fusion are in familiar territory once more here in the Midseason Madness qualifiers. A map 5 as we move back into push. New Queen Street will decide it all.
And if you want to take down the Spark, it's not going to come down easy. That was an insanely good final round coming through from the Hangzhou Spark, and my goodness, you look at Fusion and you feel bad because they had the counter, they had the right call on the composition. I felt like that was brilliant stuff in terms of noticing, okay, it's Zarya again, let's go Ryan. For the opening pick, sets the tone and snowballs the entire rest of the round. A single bio name from Irony, picked up a kill from Alpha Yi onto Fixer, and then Aim God being taken down by Alpha Yi as well. That entire opening play, I'm serious, I think just impacts and snowballs the rest of it, and then Philadelphia Fusion can never catch up again. They can't find value in the ultimates. Aim God dies during his window, the Blizzard gets nothing, and the rest of the Philadelphia Fusion, I mean, the shatter comes down at the last second of the game because Bellasria just couldn't build the thing up.
I honestly didn't even catch the shatter because, it was so negligible.
Well, he didn't catch anybody on it either, so, no one caught the shatter at the end of the day.
There you go. Not even catching strays out here with that, but now we go into a map 5. As I said, New Queen Street, a final map of push will decide it all. We'll see if the Fusion can close this out, put a win on the board, or if the Hangzhou Spark will be able to deliver a gut-wrenching reverse sweep. The action continues in just a few minutes, and you obviously don't want to miss out on it, so don't go anywhere. Don't close your browser. Just keep watching. We'll be right back. And we are back, and oh boy, what a series this is. All the way to map 5 now as the Hangzhou Spark are looking to pull off a reverse sweep over the Fusion. The Fusion need to dig deep. They need to close this out if they want to spare themselves some, mockery, I suppose, honestly, is probably what it's going to result in. I hate to be the one to deliver this news, but after being reverse swept by the Valiant and having it happen again a week later, it's not looking great. They started off so very cleanly. Let's see if they can finish strong on New Queen Street.
I mean, I'll say this much. If you get reverse swiped by the Spark, it's probably a little bit more,
excusable?
It's like, oh, it is the Spark. I mean, I get it. It's the Spark, right? It's a little bit more, I guess, what's the right word here? Like, excusable than the Valiant, I suppose.
Yeah.
Fun stat for you. This is not so fun for Fusion. Fun stat is the last time Fusion has won a map 5 or any map that is at the very end of the tail, whether it's map 5 or map 7, was versus the LA Gladiators in 2020 Countdown Cup. So it's been that long. Since then, they've played in, I think, 5 map 5s. The good news is they won that map 5 after losing to Paris in the Summer Showdown finals. Since then, they've played a number of map 5s, including this year as well, that haven't gone their way. So it's time to turn that ship around, Fusion. It's the opportunity. Best of all is, I think, because we're on New Queen Street, we're not just going there, we are there, they can kind of rewrite and turn around the ship of their reputation on this map after losing it to Valiant. Because remember, they got full capped by Valiant on this match. So there's a lot to play for here.
Well, the gates opening, MN3 going for the Ashe once more, Shy sticking with that Sojourn. Otherwise, just going to be mirrored. See what happens here in the opening skirmishing as Alfie taking a nasty shot, drops down, breaking line of sight. Make sure that he stays alive. MN3 though,
so
taken out. Great opening here for the side of the Spark. The bot now going to start moving forward.
And this is where you kind of look at MN3 and you think, is Ashe going to be the right pick here? Sojourn is flavor of the month. This isn't a particular map where I think Ashe has any real advantages over Sojourn. You could argue sightlines, but honestly, the way a Sojourn can move on this map, sightlines and the length of the LOS doesn't really matter here. They've got Ballast Rear potentially tracked as well. Took a bit of an ante.
Oh yeah, he's in a very rough position. Crashes back through the enemy team, but does manage to roll out. It's going to be, good healing and ult charge there for Aim God and Fixa as they continue to just keep that hamster alive. Bot, in the meantime, steadily moving forward. Zest trying to keep it contested. Discord orb goes his way, though, and he's got to pull away.
It's very low distance, though. Great shot by MN3. Well calculated. Sees Alpha E. Goes for the jump as well. Goes for the shot on the jump, I should say, as well. That's instantly bought back in the hands of Fusion, where, look, only 16 meters was sparked. That's nothing.
Yeah, not that solid of a start here. We saw, their opener on Coliseum. Fusion able to get quite a bit of distance after that first volley. Shy as well, getting taken down there. Bellisria continuing to open things up as they just trade 1-for-1
the Nano
on these DPS. And yep, Irony's going to be Nano. Now he's going to go off the side of the map. So Nano can't do much about reducing your knockback distance and everything. So he's dead. Nano, in the meantime, going to go over on his Zest. Bellisria finds Super Rich. Cleanup coming through. Alfie will find Aim God though, and Fixa now is gone. There's no supports here for the side of the Fusion, but they are retaking the lead and continuing to move this bot forward. Alfie will finish off Bellisria. The DPS duo just keeping the bot moving as long as they possibly can, trying to get a bit of a lead established.
I mean, it's Alpha E, Burner, Irony versus MN3 Zest Bellisria, right? But like you sort of mentioned, no supports there for the Fusion. Irony at least surviving there for the Spark. The extra healing does make a difference there. Bellisria can't get healed, goes down. And with just 25 meters gained, the bot control instantly goes back the way of the Hangzhou Spark, and importantly as well, some more ultimates coming online. Support ultimate for Irony as well as Overclock for Shy. Bellisria low.
There he is. Looks like he'll be okay though. It's a live Misa joining with Fixa. They're trying to really fast track that next Nano. Alfie getting around the back, finds Zest. Aim God now going to be taken down before he can use the Transcendence. Fixa as well under fire. Bellisria comes to try to peel for him. Bot, in the meantime, still advancing forward. The lead once more going to be established for the side of the Spark.
Haven't spent anything for that either. Just a couple of kills coming through for the Spark. Take the lead now. Still holding on to 4. There's going to be a massive ultimate fight coming on through. Picks will matter. A lot of these ultimates will just be to get picks. I mean, look at Overclock, look at Pulse Bomb. That's what we're talking about. Here comes Shy.
It's going to be 4v4 in the ult. The pulse bomb going through. Not going to find Irony, but has the Transcendence ult to him to try to stay alive. Zest ends up falling. France used in response. The Bob even thrown into the face of Shy as he tries to make his way out. He just rounds the corner, breaks out of sight, and he manages to stay alive. Even got the rail shot on the MN3. The headshot claiming his life. They do manage to find Bernard and Alpha Yi, however, in all of the chaos. The bot is not going to be moving forward here, but Fusion starting to finally ship it back over towards Spark's side of the map. Just waiting to be rejoined.
Yeah, that rail shot onto MN3 is going to watch out a little bit because if he actually kills MN3 there's no Bob, and the Bob actually turned around the fight for the Fusion, so I think MN3 and Fusion definitely wiping off some sweat off the brow of that one. Shai had a stationary MN3 that he actually missed. It's kind of incredible.
Oh, MN3 though, once more, as we mentioned, him finds another headshot there onto Alpha Yi, shutting down the opposing Tracer as Belzria just sitting back at range, gunning down. Irony will follow up for Super Rich, and there's not much of anything that Shy can do at this point. So it does go down, and this is going to be potentially even the checkpoint established here for the side of the Fusion.
Yeah, they will have some distance left to go through, and Alpha Yi at the very least can touch, so it's not going to necessarily just be the checkpoint. It certainly shouldn't be, as Spark would be kind of dropping the ball if they allowed it. Spark cannot allow this to happen. They just allowed it to happen, unfortunately.
Okay, Nano now going to be used. Goes on to MN3. He's around the back, looking for a target. He's a shotgun blast. Coach Gun blasts him away. Rejoins in with the rest of the team, but the eliminations that he was looking for did not come to fruition. Nano did get used by Super Rich at the same time, however. I think it might have been Irony once more. I didn't quite catch that.
In either case, distance still being gained here. Spark yet to really contest the payload. This is all distance they'll have to push backwards on the other side, including the capping now. That's kind of the important thing, right? You have to stop the cap the way lifted. This is sold way back when. Here comes a Bob again.
Gonna be slept for now, Super Rich. Giving him a little bit of nap time. Wakes back up though. Rail shot over the top there from Shy, looking for the head. Can't quite get it, just gonna be the body tap still. Takes MN3 a little bit low. Roll through, minefield into the pile. Driver looking to knock up the supports. Irony now can clear out the mines as he does use that Transcendence. Somehow makes it alive. Oh my goodness. He was so damn low. And now he actually turns around the fight with Belzria getting picked off. Picks it dead. Fusion just trying to lock the bot in place as much as they possibly can with the kills coming through. It's just too much to try to push through. The bot will be shifted once more, but the Fusion can get those respawns in.
You can see that Fusion as well, instead of resetting, they're just going for frags. They're diving into the Spark to try and get trades. As a reminder, important here, because if anybody on the Spark dies, it means they're not going to have full numbers for the next fight. And, well, Fusion instantly are able to regroup for this one. Spark, importantly, didn't lose a single member. Both teams to fight a proper 5v5 here. Spark, though, lose Shy straight away.
Shy dead. Belzria going to be taking a nap. Alpha Yi goes in, pulls bump stick, finds Fixa, aim god taken down as well. Alpha Yi doing so much work once more, comes up with 3 kills. Shades of Eichenwalde here from Alpha Yi. As he breaks through the fight, finding both of those supports now, finds MN3, that's going to be 4 in the extended fight. Can he get Zest? Looks like the answer is going to be no. Zest makes his exit wisely as the bot will once more start pushing here for the side of the Spark, but they have to go through the checkpoint. They have to wait for the bot to take his delay.
They should be able to cap here, but there will be another fight. No, they won't be able to, because this time Belzria does touch. Do they go for a secondary touch? Big kill from Zest.
Goes into the back, finds the pulse bomb stick. Super Rich going to be out. That's a nano boost taken out of the fray as well. Irony now that much more in danger of getting picked off. Shy holding on to the overclock, but likely wants to wait. Hold that for the nano to be joining back in.
Nano went in.
And there we go. Okay, he's just going to pop it. Nano not going to be used. Sends the rail over towards Belzria. Needs a weaker target. He's trying to line up aim god and realizes this very much so. Pops the Transcendence just to ensure that he can stay alive.
Spark
He's now trying to take the fight from here, but the bot again is just running away from them. The Spark do not have it. Jumps up top. MN3 throwing the bomb. He's trying to get the catch here on the Shy, but now the nano comes through. Shy is able to finish him off. Fix an aim god in the meantime have died, while the bot, it did get shifted away. Spark will be able to win out this fight, and Belzria gets picked off from the chase there onto Alpha Yi. This can be the checkpoint now being established, the Fusion. The question is, can they recontest just after this bot's delay ends?
They can. Yeah, and that's the problem, right? Because again, you're looking at a push map where, just like Colosseo, Fusion sneak the bot away, which means all this distance is lost. That's going to give now Fusion another attempt at defending before the payload can reach the 79-meter mark. That is the precipice now. This is the ultimate fight. I mean, if this is going to be the make or break, if Fusion just stop the fight here, they've probably got the map.
The minefield comes down, Shy tries to slide out of there, but Zest went through for the dive. Gets the elimination, takes the recall out. The safety now is looking for Alpha Yi, who has been an absolute menace here for the side of the Fusion. The bot once more is pushing forward. Alpha Yi with his pulse bomb finds Bellows re-up, but the trade-up is starting to come through. 2 kills now, 3 answered back from the side of the Fusion. The bot once more under their control, shifting it away from that lead. 1 minute and 18 seconds remaining. The Fusion fighting for their lives.
Now this is the problem for the Spark now, because they didn't win that last fight. They have to win 2 to actually cap. So they have 64, they have to win 1 fight to get control of the bot back, then reach the 64 meter mark again to try and hit 79. That will take 2 fights to do. And we're about to hit the OT, so if Fusion can slow down the game, drag the game out, force us to overtime, they're going to pretty much win this one by default. A very big fight win from Fusion that put Spark massively behind.
The pulse bomb not going to stick there from Alfie, but Super Rich taken down. Great headshot from N3, looking for a little bit more as Bernard is kind of stranded, throws the minefield here. Just to try to make his exit, but he is not going to be allowed. Yeah, a bit of a waste, as you say, ends up falling. Shy will find Aim God, but to what avail?
Well, it lets them re-push, right, because Burner comes back now. Aim God will take some time, but that's not really Fusion's game plan. That Fusion don't really care that they have to wait for Aim God, because they don't have to try and push extra meterage. They're just forcing the bot further away. You see that, Balestria in the final seconds, a little bit further, goes back. They just have to stall out. Fusion are trying to kick the ball away in a very literal sense, kick it out of bounds here, let that timer go to 0, and then they can win.
They set onto the corner, trying to zone them out. Irony going to be able to find Fixa, though. That's going to be the Nano taken away from the Fusion in this fight. So the bot now starting to shift forward. MN3 as well.
2 fights, by the way. 2 fights.
That is a good amount of distance that they can now close here for the side of the Spark.
So this is number 1. They win a skirmish. I still count that as a bit of a fight here. They win this skirmish. They will have to win another fight. Now this is number 2 out of 2 that the Spark would have to win to try and overtake this distance, and it has to be played flawlessly. Both teams have 3 ultimates. Shy is overclock again, and Shy has to go crazy here if they want to win.
The ult at the ready. That's going to be the Nano clock now. Pops. He's looking for a target. Zest managing to stay elusive. He goes diving again. The bomb is going to be able to take him down. MN3 finds the elimination. The coach gun shot will take down Alpha Yi, and the Fusion have done it. They say no, they put their foot down. The Spark, they push them to the Spark pushed them to the brink, but the Fusion say we will not be reverse swept again. The Valiant, they caught us off guard, but they come in, they kick things off with a bang, and they finished with one as well. Damn close the whole way through. Zest showing off his named Mouse. What an immense amount of work done there by the bomb at the very end. MN3 making the Ash work, and the Spark, despite being so close, can't quite get across the line.
And I have to, go back to another fight as well, where speaking of the Bob, speaking of MN3 and also Shy missing a stationary MN3, just standing there completely still. Bob available, overclock on Shy, and he misses MN3. If he kills MN3, the Bob never happens. This is the fight that happens, midway through the map. There's like 5 minutes or more remaining. And that was the fight that Spark, because the payload, the bot was in position to get a cap. They could have gotten the cap first. They could have pushed to 70 or so meters first. Also, by the way, Spark never contested the cap when Fusion got there. That was so strange to me. They just let it go. And that cost them so much because it's extra distance found for the Fusion. So a couple of macro errors there, a slight mechanical error there for the Shy that has compounding effects. It's not all about that one kill, but certainly has impact. Puts the Spark behind, and you have to go back to both Colosseo and look at the macro and then look at this map as well in terms of sneaking the payload away. This kind of stuff is what will give Fusion slight advantages, forcing Spark to spend longer pushing payload. Keep the payload off, distance-wise. Someone always sneaking away at times that Spark don't want it to be snuck away. All that kind of stuff allows the Fusion to get ahead. And they haven't won a Map 5 since July 2020, Countdown Cup in Season 3. Well, they've done it now in 2022.
Yeah, I mean, we just entered into July, so nearly 2 years later, they managed to get it done. They managed to win that Map 5, and now, Fusion fans, you can breathe easy. You can go to sleep and not have to worry about waking up and experiencing a nightmare. Everything is okay. And as you said, Avril, this was the series that if they kind of did get reverse swept by the Spark, it's a bit more understandable. But you know what's even better? Closing it out, being able to get that win, jumping that hurdle, and they haven't. While he had a very, very rough time on the side of Eichenwalde as well as Lijiang Tower, somebody who, especially at the very beginning, those first 2 maps, found an immense amount of value was Aim God. And he's going to be our player of the match here today because starting things off, he was absolutely immaculate. He was dominating the lobbies.
You have to kind of tip your hat and take a nod over towards the veterans of the team as well. Carpe might not have played the game today. It was M3 all day for the hit scans, but AimGod is the other veteran presence on this team to push through, and Fury as well in the first map. But AimGod otherwise for the entirety of the series, over the course of 5 maps, like you said, the value he brought on that Zenyatta, particularly on the first 2 maps, the amount of frags he had, yeah, you gotta give him the nod here for sure in terms of play of the match. I mean, the DPS, M3 Zest duo, these rookie superstars had super great showings all across. Even towards the end, how many times does Zest just keep the game alive for the Fusion? But you don't get to that stage. You don't get to a 2-0 stage here unless I think AimGod does what he does on the first 2 maps.
Yeah, and I fully agree. It started off so very hot. Eventually, the Spark kind of learned, like, okay, we really need to attack their supports. AimGod is kind of rolling us here, and Fixo's just keeping him alive. They turned their focus over, and it seemed like the Fusion were very much struggling to kind of adjust to that aggressive dive into the back line, but eventually managed to make it happen. But I think that you could kind of go down the line of the Fusion players here in this matchup and say, like, okay, this person could have got player of the match. Like MN3, so many clutch moments there, throwing out the bomb and everything, getting that elimination at the very end on a Shy. Some great headshots as well. Zest going just absolutely nuclear at times, and Bellisria as well as Fury playing incredibly well when they were in. So I think very much a shared effort. This is a team victory for sure. No one putting the team on their back. It was just incredibly well done from the side of the Fusion to not buckle under that pressure, to be in that familiar territory where the Valiant were able to best you, were able to reverse sweep you, to be able to persevere against an opponent that is stronger, is sitting higher in the standings than you, is a really great sign from this team that's just full of young blood.
Yeah, nothing more from me, Seth, as, I'll bring it up when we get towards the game break. Some standings will be implicated here for sure, but things are shaking up big time.
Yep. Well, guys, as he mentioned, the game break is going to be coming up, so we'll chat a little bit more about this win, what it means for the Fusion, as well as maybe the rest of the teams that are trying to make their way into the mid-season madness. We'll see what happens, though. We'll see what we talk about when we come back from the break, so it's coming at you in just a few.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by Upper Deck, the official trading card of the Overwatch League. And by TeamSpeak, the official voice supplier of the Overwatch League.
And we're back. It's time for our game break. Avril and I will be talking a little bit about the series that we just watched, because what an incredible one. If you just tuned in to check out the Chengdu Hunters and Guangzhou Charge series that's going to be coming up next. Oh boy, did you miss a banger, as you can see there at the bottom of your screen.
Yeah.
3-2, Fusion able to take the win. But the bigger question, I think, Avril, is what does this mean for the rest of the region, for the rest of the teams who are looking to qualify for the Mid-Season Madness tournament?
That's the thing, right? Because as a reminder, the format, the way it works for Mid-Season Madness is you have to be in the top 4 teams of APAC in the Eastern Division to make it to the Hawaii stage, the playoffs, the tournament itself, the first international of 2022. And it also includes not only the points from the kickoff clash, but also the bonus points from the tournament as well, which Fusion have 2 of. So they currently sit at a 4-5 record plus 2 points, meaning they have 6 points. If they win one more, which I think, if I'm going to be, I'm getting ahead of myself here, but I think it's very likely Fusion can probably beat the Charge as well, puts them on 7 points. It means that Chengdu and Valiant, who are the most likely 2 teams to potentially catch up to Fusion, would have to get 4 points to just equal the 7 that Fusion perhaps will be getting in the future. Currently, Hunters and Valiant both sit on 3. To go to 7 points, Hunters and Valiant need to go flawless. They need to win the next 4 matches without dropping any games. They have to just win the next 4 matches, right? Get those 4 points. Sadly, for those 2 teams, only one of them can get 4 points. Valiant and Hunters will be playing each other this week, and that match will determine which of those 2 teams is still eligible in the race against Fusion for the final spot to go to the Mid-Season Madness. And for the Philadelphia Fusion as well, if they get more than just 1 extra win here, if they get 3 points here, 3 wins here during the Mid-Season Madness, the other teams are out completely. If they just win 2 and go 2-4 as a record, then one of Hunters and Valiant still have a shot as long as they go flawless and win their next 4.
Well, there you go. I hope you guys had your notebooks out so you can write all of that down and keep track of the standings and whatnot. But fear not, I'm sure at the end of the evening we will have an updated graphic for you guys.
I do the math so you don't have to. I worked all this out, so you know. He did the maths. He did the maths. So
just clip it, and then you can listen back to it. You can hear all of the win conditions there for your favorite team and whatnot. But it is rough tidings, though, for the side of the Guangzhou Charge, a team that we're going to be taking a look at next. So far, just have a single win under their belt from the first week of the season versus the Valiant, who have since found their footing and taken down some, stronger teams. So we'll see what they can get done versus the Chengdu Hunters, who, as you say, are in an absolute must-win situation, a situation where they're in a race against the Philly Fusion. Hunters need to get the win. They need to make it clean. We'll see if they can make it happen or if Guangzhou Charge can get the upset when we come back. And we are back. It's time to go into our final series of the evening as we have the Chengdu Hunters getting ready to go up against the Guangzhou Charge. As mentioned, the Charge not having too much to play for here as far as the mid-season madness is concerned, but Chengdu Hunters have absolutely everything to play for.
And just as a reminder here as well, Charge are only on 1 point so far. Even if they win their next 4 matches, they will be at 5 points, which is no longer eligible to reach the mid-season madness tournament because Fusion and Shanghai both on 6 points. They can't drop below it. Charge can't get above it. It's an unfortunate case. But the Chengdu Hunters, however, are a team that are technically in that race. It's a 3-horse race between Fusion, Chengdu, and Valiant to try and get the final spot in the mid-season madness. And I have to kind of count Shanghai in there as well because they're technically on 6 points here as well, so we'll see what happens. Maybe you could call it a 4-horse race, but the Chengdu Hunters showed a really good performance last week. Leave of the Sojin, so good. It's a little bit of an off-meta pick as well for the rest of the players because Jinmu is playing a decent amount of Genji, which I don't think is really considered meta-worthy in this particular patch, but they're making it work, so who am I to judge, right? It's Chengdu taking teams, entering the Chengdu zone, and if they're winning, they're winning.
Yep, well here, our starting 5 players, obviously for the side of the Chengdu Hunters. Not expecting too many swaps, maybe Daisy if he decides to come out. Did look quite good on his last showing, so there definitely is potential for that, even though we are in the ball meta. We'll have to see if they decide to make those swap-ups. On the opposite side of the arena, though, let's go ahead and introduce them. It's the Guangzhou Charge. And there you go. Develop Choi Se-won, Krong, Unique, and Faraway will be our starting 5. The Guangzhou Charge as they look to try to take down the Hunters.
With Rio on the sidelines as well if they want to be subbed in for particular maps for the ball as well. The Guangzhou Charge, lean roster to try and get this one done. Faraway also playing against his former team as well, so he sort of kept up with the roster movements in the preseason. Chengdu Hunters ended up shedding most of their members, and we talk about lean rosters, technically Hunters as well, just on 6 members here. They lost Faraway, who was with the team previously, so now going up against his former compatriots and also Monk, who he shared playtime with on that specific flex support role. And the rest of the Charge as well, still looking for the bounce back, right? Because, okay, they might not be eligible for the mid-season madness anymore, but points still matter for the playoffs at the end of the season. And also for their own confidence, for the sake of their fans, for everyone watching the Charge. Still an opportunity to get wins in there. Still an opportunity to turn things around and, make a good show of it.
And I will just say for the people who might maybe struggle with accents from time to time, Avril said shedding, just in case. Don't worry. You don't need to put your D-colons in the chat. Yeah. Everything's fine. But here we go. Take a look at the map. Not everybody's got a
that's the plausible deniability I use. That's what I do. I keep it close on the line. And then if someone comes at me, it's just the accent. You can't. It's just the accent, guys. That's what it is. So.
Is this because of Makiwi? Is this the reason why?
See what fun things I can do in the broadcast that I can get away with, but the Killers can't. That's what I like to do. So let's get towards the actual game itself. We just watched New Queen Street. Chengdu Hunters, by the way, as a reminder, no, it was actually Valiant, but I'm trying to fill. They didn't play New Queen Street last week. There we go. I did find a way to include them into this conversation. They didn't play it last week. They played Colosseo versus Fusion. And they also play Colosseo versus Seoul. So here we go. First look at Chengdu Hunters on this map, on the new meta. Gaga Ball, love to see it. Jinmu Tracer, start to look a little bit better. Do you have to play a bit of Tracer on this map? I don't think the Genji would work, so let's see if Jinmu has increased his Tracer capabilities even more than last week.
Alright, well, here we go. So for now, just going to be Choi Se-won and Jinmu poking and prodding at each other. Bot getting ready to unlock. We'll see who can get it moving first. Developed though, nice headshot. Rail goes through, finds the elimination on Denisha, stays safe, slides away, breaking line of sight. For now, it will be the Charge in control as the Hunters have to wait for that on to come back in.
Krong as well in this Zarya. I mean, we saw this out of the Valiant. I wouldn't say it's advisory, but they want to play Krong here specifically over Rhea as well, and they won't get the kill into Gaga, so that's going to be Krong coming up.
Very nice pick up there. And now that back line dive, that much weaker. Jinmu really the only one who can really threaten. Now the bot going to be sat in place, but as they move forward, they will be able to start advancing it once more. Just grabbing as much of a lead as they possibly can. Krong, despite finding that kill, still going to be low on the charge, still going to be low on the energy. See if he can find a little bit more here. Really become that powerhouse Zarya that they need him to be. Leaving a nice opening kill, however, will find Unique. Now, goes forward, tries to duke it out against Develop, taking it up close and personal, throws the grenade down. Nope, just going to be sliding away. Choice A1 in the meantime. Picked up by Monk, but the fight still widely is kind of being won. It was being won, rather, by the side of the charge, but then Leave decides to put up numbers like that. 2 quick kills, the bot now in control, the Chengdu Hunters. 21 meters is what they have to beat for now.
93% towards the overclock as well. The 2021 MVP says, let's go, this is my hero, this is what we've been waiting for. It's got a combination of hit scan and projectile, exactly what Leave likes to play. Everything on the entire roster, apparently. This hero specifically has been so good for him. Stats-wise, he's definitely one of the better Sojourn players in the particular region, with Shy leading the way. M3 stats also right up there. Develop hasn't had the greatest time so far, so opportunity to maybe do a bit of catch-up, change the narrative while the game's still early. This is that shot though, so...
It's not going to hit. Anti on the 2, Krong bubbling it off. There's the drop down goes in from Gaga there. Minefield is 19% away from having that one ready to go. The grab as well, nearly online for Krong. Put around the back, Jinmu. Look at this. Duke it out here, which ones they want a bit, but has to pop that recall. Makes his exit from the fight, turns his sights instead back over towards the front lines. Unique using the window, but then immediately does end up falling. Jinmu pressuring out, forces the trance from far away. Rotates out, Monk will die. Krong just getting that catch there with the Graviton Surge. Gets the punish, Bubble goes through, Pulse Bomb, not going to find anything. Very nicely done there by Krong. Instantly pushes out, finds Jinmu, but Lead still finding some eliminations. Sort of far away. Keeping it close, keeping the lead there right now for the side of the Chengdu Hunters, but now the bot control will be taken by the charge.
Great energy there as well from Krong. You saw he was actually at 100 energy, bubbled up, got all this energy charge off a Pulse Bomb. Getting the frags in there. I mean, Krong's the highest fragging member across the board for the Guangzhou Charge so far. 5 out of 8 total kills. So, Zarya might not be quote-unquote meta, but Krong's trying to make it work, just like we saw from Chengdu last week, making anything that they're trying to play work as well. Overclock time for Leave.
Okay, yeah, and he is, of course, nanoed up, so nano clock is here. Now, just going to be everybody pulling away, trying to break line of sight, but did get that rail through onto Krong, helps establish the elimination. So now without a tank, Chengdu Hunters can once more just take control of the bot, ship it back across the opposite side of the map, so it's a 5-meter lead here for the side of the charge.
Day's still young here for New Queen Shoot as well, 6 minutes remaining, so haven't even really reached the halfway point. Develop's turn next to go for the overclock. No Ana on their side as they're playing the double flex support here. So see if that works out for them as the lead is now going the way of the Hunters. Charge, letting that one go. Did not contest.
Okay, Unique. Eliminated. Maybe knocked out of the Immortality Field, but just didn't get an opportunity to throw it either way. That healing is going to be gone. Now it's just far away, that single target healing to try to keep everybody else alive. And so far it is working a bit of a treat. However, Development Choice A1 under fire. Been needing some HP. It looks like Unique has rejoined in time, though, to keep them sustained. Leaf just continues to duke it out and develop. I mean, I don't blame him. He's just going to back away from the fight.
And this is the thing, right? This is why I kind of bring up the double flex support of the charge, because Ana might actually be a better pick here, as Leaf is on 1 HP, but surviving that Gargan for the safety. Lamp is going to be there, but the thing about Ball into BAP is you can, like you mentioned, just push people out of the Lamp itself. If you don't have the Ana counters, it would be great versus Ball. Jinmu and Detroit for the 5v4.
Does find that, so yeah, man advantage now going to be there for the side of the Hunters. They continue to advance forward. Charge having a rough time trying to occupy the point. The grab is there, but now, again, the healers are not. Leap gets that headshot. That takes the Transcendence out of the fray. Something like a Minefield does come through. Going to be that much more vulnerable to getting picked off. Immortality Field does not last very long. They get the anti throw onto Krong. Leave is in position. Gets the rail shot to finish him off, reset the energy once more, and make sure they cannot use that grab. So the bot is just going to continue to advance now for the side of the Chengdu Hunters. Once it's done its break, and the break is over, the bot continues to go.
What a great supporting coming through as well from the Hunters to keep Leave alive. He was just in the face of the charge, in Develop's face as well. Didn't want to give up the ground, and as he fades away, gets the rail shot. Brilliant stuff, and so beautiful watching that happen. 73 and counting now, and now we have different Chris at over 5 minutes. It's a pretty decent lead for the Hunters, but a lot of ultimates coming online. Window drop by Unique, and instantly gets a kill.
Okay, some good kills there. Gaga and Monk both going to be taken down, so Charge can wrest control away, but obviously have a hell of a long way to go if they want to gain a lead or even just start pushing, because obviously the Chengdu Hunters, they can go ahead and reset and recontest this before it even gets close. Let's see what happens. So a little bit of a late kill onto Jinmu offers up a little bit more space.
And they'll have to win another couple fights to even start pushing again, really. 35 meters, right, is where their marker is. You can just barely see it on the map. What was that, upper left? With 3 ultimates coming online for Hunters, they should be looking in a pretty decent position for the next fight to match the 3 ultimates on the charge. Here comes the Overwatch from Develop.
Looking for a target. Monk has the trance rolling, so only a headshot on anybody else there would find the elimination, but the ult will just go ahead and expire. Immortality field from the side of the charge going to be finished off. Krong getting chipped away at, and Gaga will manage to find that elimination as they play over towards Ghost side, but does get traded, so it's a 1-for-1 on the tanks. But, however, rough to get moving here. If you're a charge, you just kind of have to back away. Great sniper developed. We'll get rid of Jinmu, though.
That slows things down for the side of Hunters. Lee probably goes down here as well because he's caught out. Doesn't have the slide. Even if he did have the slide, nowhere to go towards further like deaths. I mean, Monk as well. So, opportunity now. Big opportunity for the charge to actually gain meterage. I mean, I don't know if they can cap off this, but because they keep getting individual picks, staggering the Chengdu Hunters, we are expecting at least 50 meters here, threatening the cap.
Yeah, forward spawn certainly is a possibility if they can continue to find these little poke and prod kills, these one-offs. As we see Choice A1 going into the back. Oh, Nisha has no idea. Will the stick happen? He gets him. It's not going to be the 2-for-1 that he was looking for, but he manages to double back in. Takes down Monk. The support's now eliminated. Leave unaware. Huge moves here from the side of Choice A1. As far away once more, helps take down Leave. Bot now certainly going to be rolling through into this checkpoint. A little bit of time will be wasted here by it as it takes its break, but this is definitely tieable here for the side of the charge. We'll see if they can continue to win out.
What a play by Chase A1. I mean, he's been such a brilliant force to be reckoned with on this team for 2 years running now. We'll open up that fight and close it all in one fell swoop. Pulse into a kill, double supports. And we're approaching the 70-ish meter mark now. Window coming through, but Jimmy was on the back line.
I mean, they just push straight in behind the window here, does Gaga. Keel's trying to get thrown in, Leave, finds Unique. France now going to be popped far away using that one. Gaga going to be eliminated. It's going to be a 1-for-1, the tank for the support, but as I say, the anti-nade goes out. Nisha finds the kill on the Choice A1. Leave just throwing the nade down right at Krong's feet, and we'll just go ahead and rail him right in the face. It's the elimination as the cleanup comes through. Nisha going to get picked off here on the back end, but widely the Chengdu Hunters do win the fight, and now they will deny the tie, the lead being taken here from the side of the charge, and the bot gets shipped right back in a neutral position.
And because we have about a minute left, it's the same conversation I initiated when we were talking about the Fusion versus the Spark, right? Chengdu Hunters don't need to cap further. They don't need to push the bot further now. They just have to slow down the game. They have a 75-66 lead. Who ends up being pushed in the OT determines who's going to win this match. So as long as Hunters aren't the ones behind during the OT, they are going to win. They just need to slow down the game and prevent the Guangzhou Charge from getting any significant distance now.
Okay, develop. Push around the corner, does manage to find Leave. I don't even know if that was who he was aiming for. Either way, it's a great target to be found. Now the overclock going to get popped. He's looking to try to get Jinmu. Hits him in the chest. The follow-up shot goes through the skull. Finds the elimination, but Monk is still holding it down. Finds 2 kills for himself. As Leave looks to rejoin, the bot shipped once more here by the Guangzhou Charge. Stopped for the moment. They get it close. They still have to wait. Develop's got a bit of a run back. Chengdu Hunters with the space acquired. The pullback and the reset from the charge will just go ahead and continue to keep this in Charger's territory.
There's going to be like 2 fights now as well because payload control is in the hands of the Chengdu Hunters. Touch has to be initiated almost immediately here for the charge. Will be done by Krong, who's waiting around the corner. Hunters have to kind of force a fight here because they can't allow to drop this down to 1 fight. They need to force into a 2-fight territory.
Grab on to Leave. Definitely a fine target to find.
Nisha was 1% off.
They get that elimination, and he was not able to keep him alive. Gaga, however, does find Choice A1. He's been wreaking havoc, and that gets a pulse bomb out of the fight. Jinmu, nowhere near one, though. Just still at 44%. Nano's going to be used just to try to build up that pulse a little bit faster, but finds a headshot onto Nisha, punishing him after the grab is used. Develop's going to be picked off in the back line. Jinmu looking for another target. Falls low, 30 HP remaining. Manages to stay alive. Here comes Leave, as you say, the overclock rolling through with an 8 down. Krong trying to stay in this fight, trying to duel him out, but no, the last moment, the rail will come through. It gets the kill. The pulse bomb is not good enough to finish off Gaga. Choice A1 has to dash away. He has to recall out. That buys enough space. The Chengdu Hunters It gets close at the end, but they will manage to take the first map of New Queen Street.
Could have been disaster there for Chengdu Hunters as well. Good grab coming through from Krong. Nails leave down, though, Nato to save him because Nisha was 99%. I looked at that marker, and it was just so close, but yet so far for the Nato to save him. But respect given to Nisha to pop it onto Jinmu as well, and that allows, again, time being the biggest factor here, buying time for Lee to rejoin the fight, and then once Lee was there, he pops the overclock and wins. Jinmu even getting a kill during the Nato is brilliant, but had he just not even gotten a kill, kept the payload alive, and forced attention, and even had other members kind of stay alive because Jinmu is the target now, that would have been enough. So, I respected that Chengdu Hunters just threw everything in there, kept Jinmu up, bought time for Lee to return, and then Lee wins the game.
Well, there's the first map out of the way, but a close one there from the Guangzhou Charge. Can't quite get across the finish line, but they make it look competitive. Let's see what happens as we go into Route 66 once more for our escort map. See if they can tie this up, or if the Chengdu Hunters will bring us the match point. And we are back and about to go in our second map here of our second series of the evening. Chengdu Hunters able to draw first blood, get a victory on New Queen Street. A little bit down to the wire there. Seemed like Charge, just a couple more clutch moments, may have just been able to get that map win under their belt, but it does elude them. Now they get another try, though, as we get ready to go into Route 66 once more.
It was a reasonable, I think, display from the Charge. Not good enough to beat the Hunters here. You'd have favored the Hunters anyway, but
Sure.
last stage would have been the time for the Charge to beat the Hunters, and now Hunters are looking much better in this particular meta compared to Kickoff Clash. Got to credit Choice 1 and Krong. You know, I kind of doubted how effective Krong's Zarya was going to be. Ended up being fairly good. I didn't doubt his performance with Zarya. I just don't think it's great for the meta. But, you know, he came out, looked reasonable. Got a lot of frags in there. Choice 1 as well. Turning around fights on the Tracer. We always knew that Choi was going to be good at Tracer, and he delivers that. But when you have a situation, having Hunters in the lead, Leave comes back, overclock, overhaul, just so damn solid on the Sojourn. That's the difference maker at the end of the day. When guys like Shy and Leave can play a Sojourn to this quality, it really puts the other team on the back foot.
We'll see how they fare now going into Route 66. It's going to be the Charge first, the defense. Choice A1 back onto the Tracer, which was finding an immense amount of impact. I mean, Develop as well, not too bad overall on the side of the Sojourn. It did get picked, but obviously when you're going up against Leave, it's going to be a pretty difficult time, but it did have some nice picks throughout that first map. See if you can do just a little bit better this time around to try to find a strong defensive side.
So overall record between these two teams sits at Chengdu 5 wins and Guangzhou at 6 wins. So this will be Chengdu now, if they win the series, to even up their all-time franchise record against the Guangzhou Charge at 6 apiece. So there's that overall implication as well, above the, you know, as well as the fact that Chengdu is still technically in the race for Midseason Madness. Jinmu back over towards the Genji, by the way. Eats a rock, but he's okay. So this is Jinmu's bread and butter for sure. This has been his best hero so far in not just this meta, but both metas this entire year.
Nice dash through. Bread and butter. Managing to find Choice A1, a prime target. Develop. Nice headshot with the rail off screen. Does find Leave. Immortality field cleared out. We'll see if they can find any extra kills. Jinmu just continuing to farm up here on the high ground, throwing out these shurikens. Trying to build for the blade. The pile driver comes down. Another accretion connects onto the Genji, but heals go his way. He's got the deflect. He will stay safe. Yaga, however, does not.
Develop again.
Managing to find that elimination with the help of Faraway, it looks like. This corridor about probably a hell of a lot of damage because Faraway has been fragging. Some nice eliminations from him, but goes low. Looks like Unique is able to keep him sustained as Jinmu just continues to pillar hug, trying to stay safe, but Develop eventually finds him. Good kills coming through here for the Charge's Sojourn.
Yeah, not bad. I mean, Develop's really starting to pick up some pacing now. Has all 4 of the frags, make it now, I believe, 5. 2 of them have been on Leave so far. So everything is on Developed shoulders, rather. Choice 1 finally picking up 1 as well for the Guangzhou Charge. So first defense is very solid. 2.5 minutes off the clock, and no ultimates to show for it from the Hunter side just yet. Nisha 1% away from the Nano.
I could be wrong about this, but it feels like, given that you and I, do cover the majority of APAC, that have we seen Charge play Route 66 since that first week where there was the Route 66 incident?
I can't remember. I legitimately can't remember.
It feels like that was the last time.
Well, Rio's not in this time, so he can't get a 100% deadlift.
That's very true. And, I don't think he would have it right now, given the way the Develop's been playing. He gets another elimination. This time Gaga going down. Kwong with the flux, not going to be able to find too much. Jinmu clears that Immortality field, now looks for a target, dashes over, finds the Sigma, has to pop the deflection, goes ever so low, and the final slash is not good enough to take down Faraway. Faraway perseveres, gets the elimination. Nisha now gone. Punk eliminated as well. Faraway continues to find some nice kills. And this is going to be the cart. I mean, inched forward, but widely held in place.
So,
1 minute and 25 seconds left.
This could be the Route 66 incident again, but the other way around, because Charge look like they're going to win this one. Possible full hold here. That was just an ultimate advantage fight where they snowballed, barely had to use any ults previously, banked them up, waited for Hunters to come in to use their own ults, and Charge, with a greater number of them, are going to have a major advantage. Leave doesn't even have the overclock yet. It's been 3 damn minutes. This is very slow from Leave, so the Hunters are by far just struggling massively here.
He's just been getting domed at every twist and turn. Widely developed, the one who's been shutting him down. And really great to see here. Dash in, Jinmu looking to get down. 30, and the nade will just chew them apart. I mean, Minefield to clear out the immortality and then leave. Finally able to finally able to get that overclock online. With that follow-up stagger kills coming through, Develop getting pinched. It seems like that should be point A, widely conceded here by the Charge. We'll see if they can get themselves in for a final contest.
Choi looks like he wants to come in. Yeah, he is. He's going to contest indeed, so there's still an opportunity here. Faraway has the Transcendence. He's going to pop it.
He pops it just to get them here onto the point. Prong now joining in with the rest of the team. 24% away from having that online. Faraway shuts down lead. Absolutely massive. Pulse them up. Tristan 1 will find Nisha, but now it's just going to be Krong and Faraway left in the fight. The Flux not there to try to buy some space. He's going lower and lower. The healing output from Faraway just unfortunately not going to be good enough to be able to hold this point. So the cap will come through, but they take it all the way down to overtime. Now it's 2:22 left here for the side of the Chengdu Hunters to try to push through to B.
I mean, goodness, that was definitely a fight coming on through. Leave getting shut down mid-overclock, but still, the Chengdu Hunters, off the back of Monk, Jinmu and the rest still being alive, getting the frags required. I guess it was too good to be true for the Guangzhou Charge, where the dream of the full hold is gone. The reverse Route 66 incident, which could have been true because, fun fact, 3 minutes and 20 seconds in, the Hunters had only one final blow, and that was from Jinmu in the first fight. So they had nothing to work with, and then Leave suddenly gets 2 on the nade. Here comes a Flux from Krong, though.
Looking for some prime targets, gets the lift up, it's going to be Jinmu, slap back down to the ground, there's the finishing shot, Faraway once more, finds another elimination, taking down the counterpart DPS and Leave. And, I mean, he even gets Monk. Faraway has been absolutely on fire in these first 2 maps.
That's important, right? Because we saw what Aim God and Irony did on our last series. The Zenyatta is so important in this meta. Both the Zenyatta and the BAP super buffed up. Leave down a choice of 1, not having a great game so far on this particular map. Leave was popping off a new Queen Street, but now on Route 66 struggled. Jinmu with the blade, should be a nano blade coming on through for sure. Any counters on the other side doesn't look like it. Just a unique lamp, the immortality field to save them, but once that's chewed through, should be a prime opportunity for Jinmu to get frags.
Oh, the stick! How big is it? It's massive. Monk can leave out of the fight. Choice A1 just slinking around into the back lines. Cleans him up now, so looking to use Gaga as a battery for the next pulse bomb. He's trying to roll his way out. Sliver of HP, and Krong gets him in the end. The bounce. Really late kill. Great stagger.
Because
40 seconds
now when you look at the time, exactly, you look at the time, Gaga has to respawn, they have to wait for him. You lose all the positioning for the setup here as well. I mean, Chengdu aren't even on the second point yet. They have actually nothing to work with. They just have to kind of nano play this one and hope for the best.
Okay, yep, they will throw it. Once more. Trying to get rid of Krong, will be able to do so this time around. Faraway not in position to try to heal him.
Too far away.
Dash up over the top. Unique now, going to be eliminated. He's looking for the dash through onto Develop. Can't quite get it. Develop still ducking and diving around, but Leave will manage to hound him down here at the very end. So Cart finally opened up, but it's going to be overtime for the final push, and Charge absolutely can recontest this.
I want you to really appreciate my Faraway joke that Faraway was too far away from Transcendence, so couldn't save Krong. So the Transcendence ended up not kind of the real ones heard that one. The real ones got that down, so that'll be clipped for sure. As Hunters now, look, overtime, 2 ultimates available. It's possible. Develop can save this one still for the side of the Guangzhou Charge. Good minds though.
They do, dropping it there onto the high ground. Those ones widely being cleared out. Nade to try to hold them at bay. Card inching closer, playing with their time here. Develop now, going to open things up. Throws the overclock, pushes through. He's looking for the shot, can't get Monk before the trance comes through. Now the overclock likely to expire. It has. Jinmu, however, gone. Faraway again, fighting elimination. They lose the Unique at the same time. Leave fighting that, but Faraway, he gets Nisha. He takes out 2, looks for a little bit more. They lift him up into the air with a Flux, and oh my goodness, they will be able to clean him up. A hold just in front of point B. Guangzhou Charge off the back of the Zenyatta. Faraway doing his best Jonak impersonation. He's doing a damn good one. They get the hold, and now they have a win condition under their belt.
Popping off so far, I mean, putting on a display, saying to the Hunters a statement, you dropped me. This is what you're missing out on. Faraway for sure at the end of that last fight, getting so much work done. Choice of 1's pulse, so let's take a look at this. And you cannot overstate how important this moment was. To be fair to Leave, he didn't know that Monk was also running in that direction, so they both ended up running in that same direction together. Had Leave stayed still and Monk stayed still as well, they would have both died. So it's very difficult in that situation with less than 1 second to communicate what you want to do. Bit of a 50-50, right? You either try and leave and hope the other guy doesn't, or you stay and hope the other guy leaves. So it is a pretty tough situation to try and save them both. But it doesn't matter. Even if one of them died, even if Leave didn't get Monk killed, that still would have been the fight for the Guangzhou charge, for sure. And at the 1 minute mark as well, you can't overstate how important it is. Some translators out for the faraway Jinmu band to happening. I'm sure it's good, guys. I'm sure.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how practice is your Mandarin like reading?
Let me get my app out. I'll get a map out to app to translate that for you real quick. Kai. Someone just says Kai.
Very good. I understand completely. No context needed. Well, Developers going to be swapping back over onto the Sojourn. Same comps. Out the gate. Charge. Start getting the push going.
Okay. And because, you know, we don't go to C point here, Hunters have a lot of work to do, especially on A. Because you did see the Guangzhou charge drag this one basically into the OT. Barely any time remaining for the Hunters. They already lose Nisha on the defense. That is critical as Charge now will start taking position.
Massive pickup. Jinmu as well, going to be dead, but they did get the deadliest member off the roster of the Guangzhou charge, and that's far away. He's gone, but it seems like the rest of the team is able to pick up the slack a little bit. As Krong is just advancing forward, and Monk, I mean, yeah, you can try to go around the corner, but those spheres, they bounce. Gets the elimination. The cleanup is there. That's an extended team wipe. Is unhindered so far. The card advances.
There's enough distance remaining that Hunters should be able to come back in, and no one has an ultimate, so it will just be a dry retake, a neutral retake. You got to come in quick, though. They have multiple members that can actually go for the touch, namely it will be Gaga, and then probably Jinmu. Nisha possibly found again. Yep, there it is.
Yep, that he is. Jinmu dies shortly thereafter. Getting deja vu. Gaga out, body blocked, can't escape. The cleanup is there. It is just so very clean. The Guangzhou charge looking alive. 5 minutes in the time bank, and they don't even have to get to point B.
And so many big differences from last map as well, considering that Developers having a much better Sojourn game, better than Leave even. Choice of one, we always knew he was going to be good on the Tracer. He was last map as well, but Krong on the Sigma. We're just going through some of the best hits of Krong from Zari to Sigma. At one point, you could have considered Krong to be one of the top Sigmas in the entire league. Showing that again now in 2022.
Oh, Gaga, he's just trying to play the game, but they say absolutely not. The nade at his feet when he pile drives far away with the Discord Orb, they just rip him to shreds. Flux, not going to connect. Didn't have line of sight, couldn't quite see if he was going to get anybody, but there's a stick. Choice A1 gets Monk, Jinmu's going to be dead. Nisha, I mean, he just says, yeah, kill me. I know it's over.
Take me.
Please, so I can reset a little bit faster.
This is the closest I can get to jumping off the map, and we're in final fight territory already. There's still 4 minutes left. Charger pushed this one so far up. Krong, he might have missed a flux, but he got the high ground. He drops down, gets a kill. Farway is still fragging out. Perfectly positioned on the back line. Everybody on the charge standing exactly where they want to. And it comes down to the Hunters on minimal ultimates. Even the ones coming online to try and do something about it.
Getting deja vu. Here we go yet again. He keeps trying to make it happen. He knows that somebody needs to challenge this Zenyatta, but I mean, he's holding the trance, so even if you took him low, he'd just pop and he'd stay alive, but he just can't get a damn thing done. Krong will fall. Here's the overclock now from Develop, looking for a target, trying to juke back and forth against Leave's ult as well. Will just expire without any kills being found. They'll wait for Krong to rejoin. They say that's fine. We still have over 3 minutes left. The card is widely there.
Positioning though, what can Hunters do in this time? They've managed to push the charge back finally. Respect being shown as well. Both the Sojourn players using overclocks going for each other, but didn't want to overcommit because they both know that if they die to the opponent's overclock, it could be over. The fight now is massive kill now from Leave and Develop. That's going to slow things down for the charge. They'll have to back out.
A huge one that was desperately needed. Now they need to try to cut off their escape. Immortality field used, but gets cleaned up. As Krong now also in danger of potentially falling. He's just going to try to jump off the side of the map, but won't be allowed to do so. So the cleanup is there. Continued staggers being found here as Leave is chasing well far over towards the spawn. Final rail not going to get a shot across, but now 2.5 minutes. So working through the time bank are the Chengdu Hunters.
I mean, more staggers, the better for the side of the Chengdu Hunters, right? Because they're trying to bleed this timer down. So the fact that they got the initial fragment to develop, had a bit of a pause, went in to get the full cleanup. That's about as good of a stagger as you could really hope for here. But massive ultimates coming online. Choi on the back line as well, forcing the trance.
But that's, yeah, forces the trance, and that could potentially open up the flux a little bit later on. For now, Jinmu pulls the blade. He's looking for a target. Flux rolling there from far away, so the blade's just going to have to be sheathed. Doesn't find anything. Monk stuck in the corner, far away. He comes out of nowhere, off the top rope, gets the elimination on the Monk. Pushing up, Krong now really trying to just shut down Nisha, get rid of the rest of this rally. Hasn't been able to do so. Falls a little bit low. Uses the kinetic grasp. So try to get some extra shielding, and the rail shot from Develop manages to find Jinwoo. So once more in control of the cart are the Guangzhou Charge. And as they continue to get picked off, it seems like the hope, the dream of contesting this, stopping this,
Just Nisha.
and getting the map win is not going to come to fruition. Monk drops down, is instantly taken out by a rock to the face, getting that piggy treatment, and there you go. Guangzhou Charge, they will be able to tie it up. An absolutely gorgeous map of Route 66 puts a map win on the board for them.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's showing up on the side of the Charge as well. I mean, compared to what we saw in New Queen Street, it's such a huge turnaround in the space of just one map. And already you can start to feel that the Charge have some lifeblood in them. We've seen so many games now from the Charge that just seem devoid of that, right? They're so far behind, they're getting diffed in multiple areas, but this game, this particular map that we just saw on Route 66, you can very fundamentally say they were ahead almost across the board from almost every single member. So that's a really nice turnaround from the Charge, but we'll have to see if they can continue that onwards for the rest of the series. If they can win this match, the Hunters are out of contention for the Midseason Madness.
All right, well, still everything to play for with Midtown coming up next. Let's see who is going to be able to take a step forward and gain match point. Guangzhou Charge looking so heated up right now. The blonde squad might be able to make it happen. I mean, far away, he doesn't have the blonde hair, but it doesn't matter. He's already ascended. He needs the rest of his team to level up to Super Saiyan to just catch up with how much impact he's having right now in this game. We'll see if he can continue to absolutely pound as well when we come back. We'll see what happens on Midtown. Don't go anywhere. And we are back. The score tied up 1-1. Guangzhou Charge looking incredibly strong on our second map of Route 66. I mean, like we said, pretty damn close on New Queen Street. They answered back. Now it is all tied up. Match point, what is going to be found here by one of these teams after Midtown, unless there's a draw. It's always a possibility that there could be a draw, I suppose. But match point is what we're looking for. Who's going to get it? I don't know.
We haven't had a draw so far this season, I don't think. I don't remember seeing any draws as far as I'm...
Closest we had was that one Coliseum game.
Yeah, it's funny that it almost happened on Push and nowhere else. One comment, by the way, and this really is Farway's minute. It's not a surprise to me that he's popping off. He is so well known for his Zenyatta. That's his signature hero. And as far as the Super Saiyan stuff goes, look, you have the other 4 members of the team, just normal Super Saiyan, but fun fact, Farway's in Super Saiyan 4 mode, where the hair is actually still black. I don't know if anyone remembers that. So he's actually a couple levels above. That's why he doesn't, he's not got the blonde going on. So the rest of them are just in like the normal pleb Super Saiyan 1 to 3 modes. He's on 4 already. So Farway's
was that a Dragon Ball Super thing or one of the one of the extended
GT,
series?
I think.
GT, of course. How could I forget GT? Haven't watched that in a hot minute, as it turns out. So
Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
can't make the reference myself. Doesn't matter.
Prime part of every single millennial's childhood.
I do remember staying up late watching GT.
Zoomers wouldn't.
As always.
They don't know what they missed out on.
Well, hopefully people aren't missing out on this series, because Charge, they might just be able to make it happen. Obviously, it's too late for Midseason Madness, but they could still make it happen and deny the Chengdu Hunters.
Speaking of missing out, one or both of these teams could miss out on the Midseason Madness. So it's either one team missing out or both teams missing out, depending on the result of this game. And it hasn't been kind to Hunters, at least not on the last one. New Queen Street, a pretty good showing, but Route 66, not the best. Moving over towards Midtown here, we've seen such great Sigma play in the past, define this map for this particular meta. Krong, once again, piloting that one. Gaga going to give the Winston a try. The Winston is not as good in this meta as he was in the kickoff clash, so this will be somewhat more difficult for Gaga to get his work done.
Move farming, a couple headshots there on Develop around the corner, but not going to lead to any dive-in kills. Now slow going is the Charge. Particular time to try to find an opening pick to get themselves a little bit further forward towards the point. It's not happening yet, but okay. Well, as I say that, Krong will find one. Jinmu now under fire as his monkey's trying to make his way out, but Krong says, nope, you cannot escape. 2 kills. Still haven't made their way to the point quite just yet. Gaga still playing quite far forward. Heals coming through, though, and this time Unique is going to be the one picking up all of the kills. He's getting involved, says, yeah, you've had your time in the spotlight there far away. It's time for me to get a little bit of time in the limelight, and now, over onto the point. The respawn's coming through, Nisha's still waiting, and it's going to be at least 2.5 ticks.
But how does Leave even die? I mean, that's the least likely person that should ever get a kill onto Leave. But Krong just walks up and somehow kills Leave. You see from Gaga's POV how sad it is as well. Just kicked into the corner. Jinmu trying to keep this one alive.
And Gaga does find far away, but trades his life for it. Now Jinmu is going to be taken down. Krong slept there for a moment. Stands right back up. Looks for Monk. Gets him. The help of choice they want. The cap is there. It's 4 minutes and 40 seconds to kick off Midtown. Window invested, but that's about it.
Clean. I mean, super clean so far from the Charge. Minimal losses here. 80% towards a grab for Krong, taking advanced positioning. It's these opening picks coming through from the Guangzhou Charge that make it so sad for the Chengdu Hunters to do anything about it. Jinmu has a blade, but it'll be unsupported because Nisha's only got 80%. They haven't had time to charge a nano just yet. And even then, if you blade in, even with the nano, you're just going to get grabbed. And Gaga just dies. What?
I mean, the Discord Orbs, the damage output that's coming through from the side of the Charge, they just focus fire him. And Faraway is just not allowing for Gaga to play the game. There's the grab, catches Leaf. They're looking for the elimination. They get the nano out. Leaf trying now to turn things around. Looks like Krong may be flying a little too close to the sun. That has angered them. Leaf will find Uniqueness for a little bit more with the overclock and gets the body tap. And the finish off will be there from Nisha to get rid of Develop. We'll finally win out the fight. His choice they want finds Monk for a little bit of a, cheeky pick off the very end, but ends up dying. So an additional stagger here on the side of the Charge.
Probably an unnecessary overclock because they had mostly won that fight anyway. They have respawn advantage at that point in the map. It looked like the Charge were on their way to back up unless Choice of One goes absolutely large and he only got 1 kill. there was not really any hope for the charge to bring that one back, so a little bit confusing from Lee, but he'll expend that one. Nano's also been used to save him. I respect that from Nisha.
Gaga again trying to pressure far away. The blade comes through. Transcendence going to be forced far away. Dipping out of there, making sure everyone's safe. The blade gets resheathed, but Lee with a nice headshot does find Develop, so once more, charge going to be slowed up.
2-to-1 ult trade though. I mean, you traded both Primal and Blade for what ends up being only a Transcendence. Probably reasonable on the side of the Guangzhou charge here. And Gaga didn't, he didn't really want to have to use the Primal, but you take so much damage as Winston now in this meta. Like you said, Discord and damage output with the Discord is just so huge. So Primal forced out. Choi pressuring the payload will be forcing some attention towards him as well.
Pushing that up, poking and prodding where possible. Nearly has a pulse bomb online. Anybody other than Gaga, Monk, pretty much going to be prime targets to receive that. But I mean, even if you can force the trance, that's still going to be a win.
Krong's low.
Quite a bit of damage though, yeah. Can't quite tell exactly where he's at, but the immortality field gets cleaned up. Seems like he should be able to stay alive. Far away,
Looks like
slowly ticking towards that next trance.
Yeah, so scaffolding high ground here. This is where Krong was, got saved by the Lamplight, the immortality field. So spending some utility just to get Gaga away. This is good time buying from the Hunters to build up more ultimates, slow down the charge. Charge really they're going to move on here. They're baited by Gaga and they can't move.
They no use. Okay, immortality field out from Unique as he tries to backpedal and stay alive, but it's just not enough throughput. Does end up dying. Far away punishes him because why the hell not? End up making it a 1-for-1. Tank for a support. Cart, however, still rolling back, but now with that pick off onto Nisha, maybe they can get things moving forward once more. Cutting
Gaga
back,
really
the
wanted to
Transcendence
kill right.
still at the ready. Drop
And that's the
downs
thing,
here.
Transcendence is not going to save him because he's so far forward. He was really greedy for the kill. Ends up trading that, forces Hunters back. That's a negative trade at the end of the day because they spend an ultimate versus an ultimate. To be fair, the window was expanded. Here comes Gaga again. Nearly on the Primal, really needs it.
Okay, grab finding two, but he also catches Monk, so the trance is there. He managed to keep Leave alive, and then he immediately answers back. A nice headshot there onto the Develop in midair with the overclock. Looks for a little bit more shot, not quite going to connect. Nade goes out, just trying to force Krong off that position, keep him out of the high ground. Krong instead just going to continue to re-aggress, but Cart still just going to be stopped up here at the top of the ramp through the underpass. And it's just 45 seconds remaining for the charge. Dry fight's about to be
Blade's
coming
coming online
for the most part, but okay, yeah, Blade actually is going to be there versus a window that Unique almost sort of has.
And the Blade will play well into the window itself. Again, just a lamp to kind of counter this one. I don't think Jimmu's going to be able to line up this Blade with the Nano ever again because Nisha's been using it out of turn because you had to use it to save Gaga, put him into action, right? Had to save it, leave with the Nano last time as well. So Jimmu has to do all of these dry and hope that he doesn't just get melted.
Taking low as the deflect expires. Goes up onto the high ground. Discord still on him. Krong trying to find him with that beam. /1/2. Immortality field going to be cleaned up. Goes up into the air and manages to find Unique. Drops back down. Cart contested for now by Choice A1. That's going to force out the overtime. But down a member, down a support. Can the charge manage to persevere? The OG is going to be bleeding away. The touch comes in. Choice A1 once more, keeping it contested. But Develop's going to be taken down to the back line. Krong with a sliver of HP. Finally finished off as is far away. Choice A1. He tries to go for the pulse bomb, eventually gets Monk here in the end, but that's as far as the cart is going to go. So yet again, a win condition here for the side of the Chengdu Hunters.
And just respect being given by Guangzhou as well. I mean, they couldn't really do much against the Blade. You saw the immortality field come down. Unique knew he was a target. The window was already deployed, I think. And for the Guangzhou charge, couldn't deal with Jimmu. Gets away with at least the one kill there, but it's a lot of damage. I mean, Krong limping away on minimal HP, eventually finished off by Nisha. Gaga receives the Nano, and that's the other thing, right? Because the Blade is expended, but Nisha actually still has a Nano that he was building up towards, so more pressure coming through from Hunters. The fight's not over. Gaga then goes in as well, and Charge still haven't recovered from the initial damage and loss of Unique. Now we have a situation where Hunters will prevent the B camp from coming on through. They've lost A so convincingly from a brilliant charge pickoff onto Lee via Krong, a bunch of other frags. Hunters unsuccessfully going for the retake. But the turnaround I respect because that was a humongous time bank from Guangzhou charge going from A to B.
Yep. Really nicely done there. Good time buying by the Chengdu Hunters, get it stopped up. So once more, it's not quite as close to point B, Cart, but pretty much a similar position to be in. This time the role's just a bit reversed compared to Route 66.
1. Attackers.
We're going to see Nisha on the... No, he's not going to be on the back. He'll be playing the Lucio. So we've got Lucio, Ana. And Nisha's been handling a lot of the Ana duties so far in the Chengdu games for Midseason Madness, but this is definitely Monk's signature here. As Faraway's signature is the Zen, Monk is the Ana. That was how the two players divided their time last year, both on the Chengdu Hunters. It's important that Ana is there to keep Gaga, Winston alive, and this is why, right, he just gets melted.
Oh, the bubble, and he's going to be taken down. The rail does connect. They'll find the pick off. That's going to be the Chengdu Hunters having to back up charge. How far forward do they want to advance? It seems like the train car pretty much going to be about it. Don't want to overstep because they know that if anyone gets picked off, very well could lead to a spiral out of control and a cap coming through.
It is very likely, by the way, and without getting too far ahead of myself, that full holds will happen here just because Sigma defenses with really strong DPS and poke damage is just so powerful. However, that being said, with the kill from Jinmu, it's possible Gaga is traded, but the respawn advantage is in the favor of the Hunters slightly.
Rail not connecting. Krong shuts down Leaf. A massive accretion into the final shots, and now Nisha dead as well. The charge, they won't be able to stay alive and fight another day. Monk now gone. Jinmu trying to do what he can, trying to get that blade up. But once more, they're going to have to reset and retry.
This composition does really struggle. I mean, Gaga's ability to stay alive is so impactful. Look at Krong's damage up. It already has the flux available. Nano there for Monk, which at this point is going to have to be used on Gaga. You have to nano this guy just to allow him to walk up and stay alive, because otherwise it's too difficult. And you need to have time as well for Leaf to build up these rails. So Gaga has to go in. Here comes a nano, and then build space for Leaf.
Oh, but they just go ahead. They flux him. They drop him back down. Take him low, 2 HP. There's the final shot. Gaga ends up dying. Choice A1 going to be traded to Develop. Antied out. Jinmu finally able to find the kill, so no DPS in the fight right now. But I say that, Faraway is still here, but Krong eliminated. Anti out onto both of the supports, and the cap can finally come through for the side of the Hunters.
Yeah, brilliant couple of pickups there for Lee. This is what happens when you can just make that space, even with Gaga dead. Jinmu's in the kind of mix with Monk and Nisha. So Lee on the back lines, sniping people out, gets Krong, gets Faraway to prevent any sort of retake. Transcendence would have been important for that, right? So get Faraway out is ideal for the Chengdu Hunters, but making the best of what was a pretty awkward situation, losing Gaga even despite the nano. The good news for Gaga is that he baited the solo flux, right? So the rest of his team didn't have to eat that. I do respect that play coming through for the Hunters, and they didn't have to blade importantly, so they can use that for the next fight.
Trans is there. Go ahead and try and deal with that, though. Stick. Monk dead. A good quick little dash in from Choice A1, continuing to find value as a tracer. It'll force the Hunters back as a collective unit.
It's about another 10-second buy, and also positional buy for the side of the charge. I think the positional advantage here is really important because Hunters had to control the payload, they had initial positioning, whereas now Guangzhou off that one reset can play wherever they want to, including scaffolding towards the right of where Leave was. Blade still important here. Primal being online for Gaga is massive.
Far away. In danger. Now the Primal coming in. Immortality field there. Trying to keep them alive. Monk in the meantime taken down off screen. Develop. Trying to come up and peel. And Gaga, he's not going to find anything for it. Does end up dying. Krong going to be traded as Jinmu gets on top of the enemy Zarya, resetting that energy at the very least. But Cart not going to be getting too much distance here for the side of the Hunters. 250 left to deal with.
I mean, that's like close to 2,000 HP worth of effective HP for Gaga between his base HP and the Primal, which is melted within seconds, which goes to show how huge the damage output here is in this current metaphor Midseason Madness. We're still waiting for ultimates to come online. The good news is that Monk will probably be able to line up this nano with Jinmu now. Choice Juan in a little bit of trouble, but he's okay. In the back line, this is really annoying for Hunters to deal with.
Ducking and diving around. Going low there, but to stay alive. Nano clock now online as we have a pause. Okay, a little bit of break in the action, so not going to be in the middle of a fight. Obviously, we always want to avoid that. We'll see what the issue is, though. And look to get back into the game here rather quickly and see how things are going to conclude.
We have a lot of, I mean, the next fight's going to be really important, right? It's about 2 minutes 17 remaining, but Hunters have 4 ultimates online. If they don't win this fight, because I know they're about to get into the situation where they spend most of the ultimates, 2, 3 ultimates expended here for sure, if not all 4. And I would even go so far as to say that, you know, would you nano blade or would you nano clock here? I'm leaning towards the nano blade because it's not just about Jinmu's output on the blade, but it's more so about his survivability, because once you put the Nano onto Blade and Genji, it's both him and Gaga buying space for leave to get the damage done on the overclock. The base overclock is fine. The Nano pushes up to really high levels as far as giving you a 195 damage rail body shot. But buying the space for leave, I think, is more important, so I would suggest probably the Nano Blade here. The more important thing is the fact that if Hunters fail this fight, I don't think they really have enough time left to make any significant recontest. They'll have to come back neutral, right? Be an OT push. Should be heading back into game now, so we'll see how this one pans on out. There isn't Transcendence, so this Transcendence is going to counter the Blade. So, knowing that, Leave has to be the heavy lifter on this overclock stage.
Alright, well, quick little issue dealt with as the grab going to be used. They try to get the ante in, try to stave them off. Beat used by Nisha. Choice A1 goes down. Good opening kill developed, however. Sniping the Lucio out of the sky once the shielding is gone. More support out of the fray. Once more, the lead comes in from Gaga. It's not going to be the Nano Blade. No, it's going to be Gaga because he has been getting dealt with rather easily.
Wait.
They didn't touch. They didn't contest it.
Oh. Okay.
The Chengdu Hunters, for once, are the ones who played the point. It's the Guangzhou Charge.
I'm not going to lie. I was
time.
scared for Hunters. I thought Hunters stepped off the payload. I was really scared for the Hunters. It was like, they're winning this, and they stepped off the payload. There's no way. But then it says Chengdu Hunters won. We're like, okay, well, they want the payload, and the Charge were not. You do see Choice of One trying to blink him there, far away trying to transcend there, but it was too late. They all got scared off the Gaga Nano. They ran away. And that was that. That would have been painful if it was Chengdu. It still is painful for the Charge, but I think once you get into the situation where Charge have expended 2 ultimates with no reply, I mean, Pulse plus grab and nothing happens, Hunters are definitely in the lead at that point. So I think Hunters deserve to finish that map and take the win. They're 2-1 now. Still a good showing from the Charger. This is a close game.
It really is, and they're definitely going to be kicking themselves about that, but they have to be able to bounce back. They were able to bounce back after the Route 66 incident in their first series of the season. Maybe they can bounce back here from yet another Midtown incident. Something about this map, something about that Point B, Avril. It just hits different. But we've got Oasis coming up with Chengdu Hunters now at match point. We'll see if they can close it out on control, or if the Guangzhou Charge can take us to yet another Map 5 series. We'll find out in just a few.
You're powered up. Get in there. I'm unstoppable.
And we are back once more and potentially have a Game 5 situation on our hands unless the Chengdu Hunters can close things out over on Oasis. If they can, 3-1 victory for them. Guangzhou Charge is going to have to reset and go again. But it's been down to the wire in pretty much all of these maps, Avril. The Charge, they're clearly showing that they have what it takes. They can compete against the Chengdu Hunters. Can they take us to a map 5? It's time to find out.
Friday night APAC, back-to-back map
Hell
5s?
yeah.
Question mark. Well, this is what happened last week, right? First day of APAC, 2 map 5s. Amazing games. This one's close. People with the C9. I don't think Charge really had too much of a chance. You never know, but Hunters were definitely ahead. I think safe to say the team that probably should have won the map did end up winning the map. The opportunity, though, as we head into Oasis, nobody changing anybody on the roster so far. It is Krong's day to shine. This would have been probably a decent one for Rio to come through with the ball, but with Krong being in, we'll see what kind of heroes he's going to end up playing. I have a funny feeling it'll be a lot of Zarya, particularly on our opening university. But beyond that, hard to say. I would like to not see Gaga back on the Winston, because we're just seeing how hard it is for the Winston to survive in this meta. It's really, really tough.
Yeah, I mean, the Winston, the ball, if you're going up against Faraway and he's playing
Ball is more
Zenyatta,
survivable. Ball is much better.
Well, I agree. The Route 66 might be a bit of an outlier there, but things were very, very rough for Gaga on that map. Now, it's time to focus on the present. Oasis University out the gates. TP forward. Looks like Faraway going to be shifting away. Now goes for the Ana.
Enemy here.
And I think, you know, the fact that Develop starts on his Sombra tells you a couple of things. They're either expecting that Gaga was going to be playing the Doom or a 4. He's playing none of them, and it's probably fine. Develop could just swap off the Sombra afterwards.
Oh,
not really enjoying the Winston so far. He slept, but it doesn't matter because Leave has got all the flags required.
Yep. Just pushing up here towards the spawn. Develop, trying to hightail it out of there. Looks like he will be able to stay alive. We'll see if any swaps come through here. It seems like they might just be sticking with what they've got.
Man, a Develop would love it if that new DPS roll passive came through right now and he could just swap to another DPS here and keep like 30% ult charge or however much, right? So but he's actually going to stay on the Sombra, so not a big fan, but he's committing to it.
That must sting. Got you. Got an enemy here.
What's
Almost
Lord
EMP
trying to
though,
hound
so
down Monk.
respectable damage to be fair with you.
Gets the hack off, now shows himself. Takes him a little bit low there, but obviously the health pack nearby enough to play off of, so does manage to stay alive at least for a little bit longer. Jose Juan trying to keep Jinmu honest here in the back lines, takes him low, the recall going to be forced. He antied out there for just a moment, looks like he does manage to survive. Faraway trying to catch up to Monk. A couple percentage now, separating them, so Nanos about to be out for both teams in the fight. EMP goes loose, that's going to catch 4. Gaga taken down, good focus fire. Unique, however, does get picked. Anti into a rail shot from Leaf. Gets rid of one of the supports. So 1 for 1, now a 2 for 1. Leaf gets another rail across. This time it's on to Krong. The dive in, Faraway dead. Even the Jinmu's playing up in front. It's going to be Leaf claiming the kills. And he's nearly got that overclock ready to roll.
Yeah, 6 frags from Leaf so far. Tons of damage done. Absolutely farming on the opposition. Gaga dying before Primal definitely does suck for him because he gets focus. EMP lands on 4, but the prime target is Gaga, deleting 40% of the HP and then, you know, railing down the rest within a short order as well. A lot of ultimates coming online for the Chengdu Hunters, and they're leading by a fair margin on the cap as well.
Krong already going to be picked off. 82% here online for the side of the Chengdu Hunters. Unique dropping down into the pit, trying to stay alive, but now Faraway, left out by himself, ends up dying. The nano in his hands, will it ever get used? We'll have to just wait and see, because Unique still going to be forced out, and someone's going to need to get the touch. It's going to have to be developer choice A1. Test is there. Overtime now going to be forced. 3 ults still remaining for the side of the Chengdu Hunters. They're looking for it. They managed to get it. Krong pushing forward. Looks to try to get rid of Gaga. Can't make it happen. Primal gets popped. He's getting juggled around. Krong trying to stay alive. He's got 1 more bubble left to use. Waiting for the next one to come off cooldown. He's trying to find a target. Throws the grab. Narrowly snatches Monk back in. Choice A1 will manage to find the elimination, but is that going to be good enough for them to win the fight? Pulse bomb goes out, manages to clip onto Gaga, takes him low, and yes, it will in fact be. The team kill is there, and in overtime, the Charge get the flip. All ults used across the board, but the nano nearly there for Monk.
It's a 99% lead though, so there will be time for Hunters to build back up. EMP still in line for Develop to try and push through further fights with the Guangzhou Charge in this very critical rebuilding phase here. But rely on Krong, you can't go wrong, right? Because he's gonna have that damage to roll on in, looking for a grab, solo onto either Leave or Monk, finds it on Monk, and that starts to snowball for the fight.
Ooh. Develop not gonna find nearly as much damage as he would have liked. Gets spy checked almost immediately as he continues to just try to hack and harass Monk. EMP at the ready, moving forward, throws it, finds 3. They look for the kills, but it's answered back in kind. Development far away, both just evaporate. A huge turn of events here for the side of the Chengdu Hunters. Not going to be swayed at all by that EMP. They do not care. They shrug it off. Nade coming down, cutting off Unique's escape route. As he tries to break line of sight, he will grab a health pack, but now overtime is once more bleeding away, and no one is going to be able to touch this time. 100 to 41%, Chengdu Hunters take University.
I mean, that's typical of an EMP, isn't it? You know, everyone just shrugs it off, no one cares. Outside the 1 kill to Gaga, I mean, that's kind of how you have to use EMPs. They're almost solo kill kind of ultimates, where you just pop the EMP, then drill down some guy. The whole AoE thing doesn't really matter here, but what a play from Leave. I mean, gets EMP'd, and then just rails Develop, doesn't even care. I think Guangzhou made some serious misreads on the compositional picks for University. Like I said, they came through on an Ana plus the Sombra, and to me that just screams they were looking to counter Gaga had he been playing something like a Doom, which maybe Gaga should have been playing, but he's like, maybe I'm just going to counter here, so we'll play the Winston instead. Krong is now going to be one of the Doom. Monk's on the right here to do something about it. Develop wants to come through on the Sombra again, so it's either another misread or Chaz just really believe in the Sombra with the 19 other teams in the league do not.
Krong instantly going to be antied out. Nisha taking a nap. Woken up. Yeah, he does stick with it. He's low. Leave gets that elimination. Far away. Dead once more. Cleanup is there. No supports. Krong antied out. Not a hope in the world for him. Choi Se-wan as well cannot escape. Team kill off the rip as well as the cap. Chengdu Hunters, they want to close this out 3-1.
Perfect opening there, and Develop instantly stops. That's what you want to see. I don't understand. Like, well, I do understand. I think again they are trying to read the opening hero compositions from the Hunters, and they're assuming Hunters is playing something that a Sombra can counter. But twice in a row, Gaga just opts for the Winston instead. Now, I don't necessarily think Gaga's playing the right hero, but it ends up punishing Develop's picks specifically. So, Charge now on mostly a back foot, but they do get a kill.
Okay. Opening shot there on the Monk. Felt taking a good chunk of damage there from Leave's nade. Now looks for Jinmu, but can't quite get the slippery tracer. This point still being contested though. Need to clear this out. Forward push there from Krong. Meteor strike. Not too far off being online. Has to make his exit though. Leave keeping him at arm's length. Ensure that he can't get on top of him nor the supports.
Also available now, Jinmu should be looking for the hunt. Leave save, first one out, and Monk just backs up into a Choi for 2.
Absolutely massive here from Choi Se-wan. Now looks for a little bit more. Nisha will fall. So looks like finally the fight going to be won here from the side of the Charge. Just need to clear out Jinmu to be able to get this flip. He's going to buy as much time, as much percentage as he possibly can for his team. But now goes down. Choi Se-wan again finding that elimination. Great tracking from him to just keep tabs on where Jinmu is going to be. Gets that kill, and it's 68% as the flip comes through.
Yeah, 4 kills there for Choi Se-wan. Really shown his capability on the Tracer from map 1 to map 4. And if we go to map 5 as well, I'm sure that Choi will do much more of the same. Has just been solid throughout the entire evening on every single map. So, bringing stuff there. Krong receives a nano. Instantly slept.
Sleep. Connecting. Meteor strike in case he needs to get out of a sticky situation. He's going to use it now. Likely to be an aggressive one as the shielding from the rally going to be expiring. The shield comes up, blocks the lion's share of that meteor strike. Sends Monk out into the middle of nowhere, but it seems like widely he's still going to be safe. Another punch, not going to find the pin onto the wall. Now Krong going to be taking a nap once more. 3, now 4 kills coming in. Choi Se-wan, the last one standing as the flip is there, and it's only 31% here for the side of the Charge.
Just trading backlines, right, except, you know, we see Krong just being bullied around. Gaga actually had a pretty good time, considering where the tanks were going. So Hunters ended up winning on both sides of the map. Late kill the Choi Se-wan, humongous punish. This is a critical juncture as well. You have to wait for Choi Se-wan when we're at 90% on the cap.
Could just be the end of it all right here, right now. 6% left to go. Continuing to tick up. Leave going to be displaced off that high ground. The stick, Jinmu finds far away. A massive pick off once more. As the overclock is there, Develop trying to duck and dive. Choice A1 with a pulse bomb will manage to find Leave, interrupts that ultimate.
Jinmu!
But now, Development unique are gone. Jinmu starting to pop. Krong going to be antied out. Cannot survive. Jinmu finds the elimination, and that should basically be it. There's a couple people left alive on the side of the charge trying to fight back, but with Choice A1 far away dying, the OT will bleed away. It's a 2-0 closeout on Oasis and a 3-1 victory for the side of the Chengdu Hunters. This scoreline will not necessarily tell the story of how close this was between these two teams. The Guangzhou Charge, unfortunately, after the Midtown incident, are going to be kicking themselves. That could have been their opportunity to be coming into this map at match point. It slips through their fingers, as does the victory.
And Hunters making sure that their dream of making the mid-season, man, this tournament is still alive. They have to go flawless here, remember, so every single game matters for them. Jinmu getting 3 to 4 frags at the end there on his Tracer after seeing Choice 1 doing exactly the same. Brilliant stuff coming through. Hunters all around eventually made the Winston work. I still think Charge made some mishaps towards the end as well in terms of their compositional choices, their potential misreads in terms of what they felt the Hunters were going to do. But Hunters, they picked the compositions without having to change anything. They played what they were good at, and something that is extremely good for the Hunters on their best player. You know who I'm talking about. It's 2021 MVP of the regular season, Leave on the Sojin. Showed up across the board. I think there was one map, maybe on Route 66. It was looking a bit shaky. Develop had the best of him, but otherwise, Leave was going to pound down the entire way through, aside from that one loss.
Oh, he really was. Like you said, I think Route 66 developed. It really did show up, kind of diffed him. But I think that what was being discussed there in Mandarin that we couldn't translate was that Develop was just had leveled up, and I think Faraway said he's Kai. Develop is that good right now. Unfortunately, didn't find that same value. Swapping over, rather staying with it on Midtown, moving over to the Sombra. Leave though. Throughout, pretty much, other than Route 66, incredibly consistent. Continues to just show that, Sojourn very much is a hero made for me.
Yeah, I mean, we just, across the board, the level of consistency, the highs as well. Leaf stays alive. He's going to be popping off. He's going to do a lot on this particular hero. This hero really was made for somebody like Leaf, right? Who has the best of both worlds in terms of his experience playing both hit scan and projectile. And funny enough, Achilles as well, when we look towards past Chengdu Hunters games that they've won, all 3 of their other matches they won this season so far has been Jinmu Player of the Game. It's been Jinmu Player of the Game every single time, because the matches that Hunters win, Jinmu plays exceptionally well. Whereas the ones they've lost, Jinmu's kind of faltered a bit because his hero pool has been a bit of an issue. This time around, Lee will get the Player of the Game on the Sojin deservedly. But at the same time as well, I'm pretty impressed with where Jinmu has taken his Tracer. That was not a hero that was in his hero pool last year, but he's been called up to play it, because here comes the conundrum for the Chengdu Hunters. If Leave is going to be your Sojin player, and he's definitely going to be your Sojin player, Jinmu must take the weight of the other role, which includes a Tracer, into full force. And if he can't do that, Chengdu can't win. So, Jinmu kind of has to walk here for Leave to fly, in a way, for Leave to run. I don't know if that analogy really works here, but you get what I'm trying to say. If Jinmu's Tracer doesn't work, the rest of the team doesn't work.
Yeah, I mean, Jinmu looking really, really good there at the very end. That Tracer was really kind of starting to come to fruition for him, where it got off to a little bit of a rocky start at the very beginning. But yeah, incredibly well done there for the side of the Chengdu Hunters, just persevering. They know that they cannot afford to lose any series. They know what is at stake here. And they still, even with this win, are not out of the woods. Like you said, they need a perfect stage. They cannot afford to drop any maps, and the opponents are going to, no offense to Guangzhou Charge, only get tougher from here, because they are still down at the bottom of the standings with that single match victory. So Chengdu Hunters still have their work cut out for them. Fusion as well, very much in that same boat. So things still up in the air for the side of the mid-season madness here in the APAC region. We'll just have to wait and see how things continue to unravel throughout the weekend. That's it from us here tonight, though. Only 2 matches, but tomorrow we have it stacked up 3 series for you guys for a Saturday evening and or Saturday morning. Depends on where you are in the world. I don't know. I can't keep track of however many tens of thousands there are of you. But that's going to do it from us. So thank you guys for tuning in. Myself and Avril will be opening a show tomorrow, so looking forward to seeing all of your lovely faces right back in the chat. Good night. We'll see you then.
One cannot
Approaching. Огонь по готовности.
The enemy surges. We must halt them.
They can't hurt.